You're listening to the Smoking JoeThunder podcast. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy JoeThunder back once again with another episode of the Smoking JoeThunder podcast. I got Elvis Freshleee in the building.
Yo.
What's going on, G?
Chilling, man. What's up with you?
Hi.
I know, yeah. It happens here.
It happens, you know. We were talking earlier, me and our other special co-host Jess from Tetra. About this is probably number 7, number 8, probably. It's up there already.
Yeah.
And I'm high, but it's good though. You know what I'm saying?
See you.
Hey, shout out to Be Good Dispensary, our official sponsors over there on West Hampton. Where are they up north?
114th and Cherokee Street, right across the highway from Boondocks.
There you go.
If it ain't Be Good, it's
no good. Like I said, we have our special co-host Jess in the building from Tetra. How you doing?
Hey, I am chilling. How are you?
Not too bad, not too snap. It's a little chilly outside. It's kind of weird. It's a little chilly for it kind of being past 420.
Yeah, we're going into May now. But we did just have a streak of like
a streak.
80-degree weather, it felt like.
Yeah, I
this
know.
last week,
Yeah,
even today it rained a little, but it was warm.
Today was
for
supposed
April.
to be at, I looked at the weather earlier in the week and it was like supposed to be at 80.
Yeah,
It
was pretty nice at one
74
point, though.
today
Yeah.
at some point.
All right. And we got Ali in the building. What's
Ali
going
in the
on?
house.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Cannabis connoisseur, cannabis
Enthusiast.
cannabis smoker,
Cannabis is great. You know?
Yeah, weed is good.
Great things.
You know what I mean? Today, we're gonna just do something a little different. We're gonna talk about smoking weed. We're gonna talk about like a little bit of mental health, a little bit of we did just 420 last week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things going on in the city.
Shout
Shit we
out
might have
420.
seen. You
Super
know what I mean?
fun. Super
Out
fun.
420, right on.
Shout out.
Thank you for being a date.
For
Listen.
real, thank
Oh
you.
yeah,
That's
for
a
sure.
nice
It's a holiday.
day.
We look
You
forward
know?
to every day.
Holidays.
It's like the perfect date, you know? It's not too
Exactly.
hot,
yeah.
not too cold.
It was so
August
great.
A light jacket,
April 25th
maybe.
is the date for
I
know, I
that.
know.
But
that's
forget
5
the
Yeah,
song.
I like the reference.
It was pretty warm on
April
420.
25th.
I was inside all day. I was working. What about y'all? What did y'all do on 420?
I worked
Worked.
all day.
Yeah.
Shout out Tetra Lounge. We were
Yes.
busy.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you were.
Great day. We had, I want to say, maybe about 350 people through the whole day. So it was
Wow.
Holy shit.
super great. Shout out all the vendors that came out.
And shout out real
it was-
quick. We're not gonna really say, but
Yeah, yeah.
shout out to the real special guests that are always in the building.
Just wait.
You know what I'm saying? The real special. We know who you are. We see
That's
you.
right. That's right.
You know who
Everybody,
you are.
Yeah, we know.
You know who
we
you
know.
are,
We know.
exactly.
20 questions.
say
This ain't
names.
Jeopardy.
Yep, exactly.
Motherfucker.
Keep us happy, keep us moving. Nothing but.
Always keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Hey, what about you, Oz, man? What'd you get down on 420? Were you
Man,
just here
I-
at the
I worked.
dispensary or
Yeah,
what?
I
You're
worked.
slanging,
I was just moving
shaking and moving?
weed and
huh?
paint.
What dispensary?
Be good.
Oh, we good. Yeah,
The one right
yeah.
downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Nah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been here
Somewhere.
once before. To pick up a plant.
What about what about you? What'd you do on 420 there, Ali?
I chilled at Tetra most of the day, honestly.
shit.
It was really lit. They had different vendors, and everyone was just
Bunch of
smoking tall.
giveaways.
Yeah, hella giveaways. I got a lot of cool things. And I went to the Mile High
We
festival.
talked about the Mile High Festival at Civic Center Park, right?
Yeah, it was so cool. I mean, it was my first time going.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
shit.
thought it was lit. There were so many people. Everyone was smoking. There were so many vendors. Everyone's giving out free stuff, like food trucks, music. Like
How
it
was
was
the
so
music?
cool.
Did
it
you
was.
see- did
it
you
was
check
so.
out-
It was like it was the stoner music. Chill. There was some Rasta playing too, some hip hop, some like rap.
You see anything crazy
It
down
was-
The first one I went to, I was 13 years old down there.
13.
Oh wow, really?
That was wild.
Dang.
I'm trying to think of the first one, dog. Like
I don't know. That was the first one I went to. That was like 98.
13.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That was wild.
I was probably like 22 or 23.
There was not-
the first one.
There was not a single. There was no fences. There was nothing. You just walked into the park.
That's cool.
And as long as you weren't smoking off
right.
the property, you were good. The cops were right there.
I
And
think
the
my
front-
first one is
It
when
was
they brought
crazy.
they kind of brought Paul Wall, like that dude that you were talking about that originally did the 420 festivals. He was having his little talk and he brought out like Paul Wall and shit. I don't know when that was though. I remember going to see
that
Paul
was
Wall that
later.
night. Was that later?
That was like 2003 already. 2004.
Lil Jon performed at this.
That was
one.
when they already started
Yeah,
fencing.
yeah.
Nah, that was when they already started fencing the joint
Yeah,
off.
that was cool.
They already
I
started
thought they
fencing
fenced
it
off
off.
the first year was Rick Ross.
I heard.
No,
Rick Ross
that's when they fenced off the concert area.
Yeah.
But they fenced off the whole park
Got you.
in like 2002,
Yeah.
2001. But before that, it was the tightest thing. I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. Actually, I think they started fencing it off later than that, maybe. But the concert area was fenced off, and that was when they started like making it where you couldn't smoke just right everywhere.
Totally.
You had to go into like sanctioned areas after they checked your ID to make sure you were like that shit got.
Man,
it got lame.
I remember I went there
really
one year, one of the last times I went there, and I parked like literally like a block away, or not even like a block, like a half a block away from like the main entrance, bro.
You found parking?
And when I left, I swear to God, I was like, how do you say, not covered. I was like, there were cop cars all around my car, and I had to literally
couldn't even get
do
out.
some crazy, like some crazy, and I'm high as gas, and there's cops everywhere,
Oh,
bro.
for sure.
And I have to back out, and it's literally like not straight. It's like then go back around, then a whole nother one, and a couple zigzags, bro. And I got out that motherfucker and lit up another blunt, and I swear the cops were just looking at me. I'm like, I'm going to jail for sure. This is the total setup, bro.
Wild. You're wild.
And after that, I've never drove down there again and parked there. Like, fuck that shit.
You're wild for that one.
Yeah.
Holy
For
shit.
real, man. For real.
I don't know. This one was like, I didn't feel like it was like that. They barely even checked our bags. Me and Alicia went, and it was just like, you know,
No. See,
you know, it's,
This is the first one though after COVID. You know,
Yeah,
this is the first real one where everyone's coming together. It's open. It's active. You know, I'm sure you guys remember before this previous year's the last one that they did. You know, it was a mess. There was trash everywhere. It was just torn to pieces. You know, people really kind of treated the park poorly, in my opinion. But teach their own.
no.
I heard that was the city that did that
what
shit.
happened
But I mean,
was
like in this, well, yeah, and they.
what happened was they picked up everything was picked up. Everything was
what I
cleaned up from the park. They went through and picked up every single piece of trash off the park.
Yeah.
They had all the bags lined up for trash pickup the next day.
Yeah.
And somebody went and ripped open all the bags and spread
wow.
all the trash throughout
did
the
not
rest
know
of the
this
park.
was
oh my
See,
god.
No,
That's
this is it was a setup.
Yeah.
They were trying to shut this shit down.
That's what I heard, yeah.
And
See, I have
maybe
never heard
maybe
this.
that's the controversy
Same.
behind it. It could have
Yeah.
just been some fucking asshole
I had
kids.
heard that like
True
this
that.
is what I had heard was that they didn't provide proper receptacles and people
No.
ran
No.
out of space for the trash.
There was a whole cleanup
That's
crew for after.
crazy.
Every year there's a whole cleanup crew.
Yeah,
There's a
that shit
volunteer.
was cleaned
There's
up.
lines and droves of people
I've
volunteering.
Seen the cleanup before in
It's
previous
fucking
years,
insane.
but
They
this
just
looked like
walk through and pick it all up.
It's almost
And
like
they did that
somebody
again.
slashed all the bags when they
They did.
picked that shit up. It just went everywhere.
They slashed all the bags and then
crazy. I feel
somebody
so
went-
different about that now. That's
Yeah, it was
wild.
fucked up.
I
And-
remember the one year the Cannabis Cup trashed the fuck out of that little spot on the east side right
Yeah,
there.
I do remember
And that
that.
shit was wild.
That was
like,
nice. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, that was wild.
dog, there was a line around that whole block the whole fucking day. I went to the dispensary first thing 8 in the morning. There was a line,
That was the first
and
one.
then
they
these
had.
fools are painting across the street, and there was a line all day, bro. It was. I have a crazy story that I cannot tell. But maybe if you see me, ask me about the Cannabis Cup
personally ask
story.
about
I'll
it.
tell you about it.
Love that.
We money makers over here.
That's fucking wild.
Hell
I
yeah.
can't tell you what the fuck I was doing.
That's okay.
But hey, that's another story.
All
part of it.
good.
Nah, man. You know, I'm honestly, I have to try to keep a new, a child mindset when it comes to this because I'm so jaded with it now. You know what it was before, and I'm like, oh, it was so tight. I'm like one of those people who was like, Denver was
Back
so
in the
cool.
day.
Hold on to the
Back in the
memories
day,
about
because it was fucking tight. It wasn't
Yeah.
legal yet. Weed wasn't legal yet. Like shit was not what it is now for
Right,
sure.
right.
And it was a whole different time, and everyone felt so. It really connected you. Not and now it's like you could just walk in the store and everybody's like, "Hey, what's up?"
You're
Let me
right.
get my weed.
'Cause
And
even, like,
before you
when-
knew your weed dealer, you knew you were like
and you wouldn't even
homies.
smoke with them. I was gonna say, yeah.
You would buy their
would
weed and
ch-
smoke it with them.
Yep, exactly. That's
I-
I was
shit,
thinking
that's
about
what
that the
I'm-
other day, actually.
Love that shit. You know, it was the best.
Yeah, and like there'd be a lot of people too, and it's like we would all just match and like you know
everybody would match. It was the shit.
chill, listen to music,
Not no-
talk,
and now
have a
it's
good
now it's
time.
like going to get your fucking Starbucks, and people are all entitled, and
All
they're
in
all
by
mad
by
about a
themselves.
fucking
and it's all about,
about
money.
a $20 eighth. Like fuck you, you know. But it's crazy to me. you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
understood.
but at the same time, like I have to think of it like if I was new to it and I came here and I'm like, oh, it's
Totally.
high,
It's lit.
you know,
That's
and
right.
especially from a place where it's illegal still,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's still
You
like
have
that
a fresh
there.
new perspective on this. Someone
It's
that's
still like
never
that.
been involved
Right.
with it
A lot of
Right.
motherfuckers are still smoking rich.
So I have to remember that. Like it is
Fresh
tight.
weed is still a thing.
It is tight that we're still doing this, and it's still tight that. But at the same time, I'm like, shh, you guys should have fucking seen it. You should have seen it. It was the most epic, most amazing
Yeah.
shit ever.
I love that you were even like able to experiment. I came here and like 2013, you know,
Yeah,
right when
no,
rec hit,
it
you
was
know, and
already
had
rec,
no.
right.
And I came from Kentucky where
It's illegal.
you don't, you know, I have friends that
Still
grow
now,
and stuff for people, and
right?
I'm not, you know, I can never talk about because they would.
It's
keep
still
going to
now.
jail.
It's still now
Yeah, it's still illegal for
illegal.
sure. Yeah,
and
yeah.
Not even medical thought of or anything, huh?
Man,
Damn, Kentucky,
SMH.
come on.
I know. I wish.
Y'all need to get it together down there, shit.
But you can go in any gas station, you know, and they have like the trash can from like overseas somewhere that's not tested and not regulated, and people think that that's medicine and they're consuming it, and I'm just like, oh.
Right, and they got
for
little
me,
roses with the
right, and again, from coming from the lab realm, I'm like,
SOS pads.
this stuff is probably riddled with, you know, maybe
Who knows
heavy
what?
metals or who knows what. You know, the
Right.
list could go
Bad
on because
chemicals.
hemp that's
Exactly.
unregulated isn't,
Exactly.
in my opinion, not safe for consumption.
No.
So, yeah.
And who knows how long that shit's packaged and
Yeah, what's the shelf life on? How long has that been sitting around? Is it?
and then you get in and you're like, what
You're
the
the
fuck
expert
is
on
this?
Right.
Yeah, what's the efficacy? You know, is this going to work? And it's everywhere. It's lined in every Subway or every gas station. I've seen liquor stores that have it.
That's
you know, and it's
wild.
wild to me. But y'all can't.
That's a trip.
You know,
can't
but
smoke
Ohio
over
has
it.
medical. I know that, you know, I have quite a few friends with medical cards out there, and I see that they'll send me pictures of their product and labels.
But that's
and stuff.
crazy. You gotta like illegally bring that shit in. You gotta still like worry
Mm-hmm.
about doing real time behind marijuana. A fucking
crazy.
Which
plant.
doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, because it
Literally
should be
plant.
regulated like alcohol, like it was. You
Right.
know, like
I mean, alcohol.
Well, even where I'm from, it was a dry
so it don't
county
make
until
sense.
up until like, you know, I want to say I was in my
fuck that too.
late teens, 20s. You know what I mean? You'd have to drive across the county line to go get alcohol. You know, it's a lot of
And
Catholics,
illegal-
a lot of
illegal
Christians.
to
It's
have
very,
there too.
It's
even,
crazy.
right?
Yeah, like you would drive over, get it, and then you'd go home. You know, or
Right.
a lot of us would meet up at the McDonald's at like the main, you know, we had a McDonald's and like a Cracker Barrel, and like you'd meet up with McDonald's after the football game or whatever, you know, whatever happened.
Oh my
And that because
God.
we had 24-hour McDonald's, you
McDonald's
know.
and a Cracker
And
Barrel.
plus- I can't. And if
Holy
it, yeah, like
fuck.
our Walmart didn't get built till I was in like middle school, almost high school.
Damn.
For sure.
So the McDonald's was lit.
24-hour McDonald's is,
Lit 24 hours.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
Straight
come on.
It's lit 24 hours.
but
Yeah.
that's like the meeting spot because no one had anywhere else to do
No
unless
one-
you had like a field party or something, you know. But yeah, someone would come from across the county, and they'd pick up bottles or whatever, and you know, give them some money and do your thing, and then we could all party and have fun, you know.
I've delivered 40s in bottles through the McDonald's drive-thru before.
I'm telling you, it's a thing.
I
Oh
have.
yes, that's great.
For free McDonald's, yeah.
I can
Yeah,
believe
it
Yeah,
that.
happens.
trade, you
It
know.
happens.
You know, get the call.
Food
Hey,
for
homie.
all? Okay.
I've gotten free food for sure.
Yeah.
Smoking weed. Like, what's up? You guys want to just throw me that?
A little exchange or whatever.
I've even let the people hit the blunt. Like, you
This
want
for a
it?
little bit of that, a little bit
There you
this,
go,
a
bro.
little bit of that.
Actually, one.
Hey, so let me ask y'all something, man. Like, check it out. Like, kind of COVID's, we're coming out of COVID. You know, it's still kind of fresh. But, like, is it me or is it just everything expensive as fuck right now? Like, we got stimulus checks, but right now, like, those prices are like,
Yeah, well, that's why.
We are going
Yeah,
through
exactly.
some
Gotta-
inflation, I feel
you
like.
got to recoup
Unfortunately.
it somehow, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Look.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
is a symptom of something that has been underlying for a long time. We've pushed back inflation that should have taken place a long time ago. Alan Greenspan was a genius at keeping shit kind of leveled out, and I say genius in like the most evil of ways. But like, you know, he kept it cool, and now he's not there. Shit's fucked up. Shit's going kind of bonkers. We gave out a bunch of money. We're printing it by the boatloads.
Yeah.
We've always been,
Yeah.
and now it's really
And there's a
catching up.
lot of stuff that's missing.
Well,
like,
now everybody's seeing our shit ain't worth shit.
Right.
Exactly.
The rest of the world is like, that's all plastic.
Right.
We only know because we have all their steel.
I've given a lot of thought into the whole, you know, recession happening, you know, and
Yeah.
everything hits and everything drops, and it's gonna be, you know.
Worried about a lot of things and a lot of people right now. Like it's
Yeah. I mean, even in, you know, we can take it even to the industry. We're talking about cannabis. I mean, cannabis
Cannabis.
industry is trash right now. No,
trash.
no
No,
offense, but
it
is.
absolutely trash.
The market's trash. Everything. I see people, you know, plenty of people wholesaling issues and, you
It's
know,
terrible right
just
now.
inflation issues in
It's
general.
hard.
Or, you know, dispensaries have the craziest prices on flour that I've seen in a minute. Honestly,
It's
Like, when you say crazy,
well,
do you mean low or high? You mean low?
I think expensive, but there are a lot of really low ones too. Like depending on the brand, you know.
See-
put it that way.
See, look, I really think that right now the cannabis industry is really hurting.
Totally.
It's costing them more than it's ever costed them to
Yep.
grow a pound or whatever however much they're growing per light. it's costing way more than it ever has in the past, and people are wanting it for cheaper than they ever have.
100%.
Everyone wants a $100 ounce, and that's what they need. And like, if you don't have that, they're like disgusted with you.
Exactly.
When really it's like, yo, that's barely fucking maybe paying my bills.
Right.
If that.
That's true.
If that, and it's still not. And so like, people that are smaller and only have that one grow and only have that one store or two stores, you know, they're really struggling because they can't keep up with the prices, and their costs are just so high.
Totally, yeah.
It's becoming really tough. So they're having to charge more for a specialty product, and it sucks because everybody else, there's other people charging $13 an eighth or whatever the fuck it is, and these and then everyone's laughing at these other guys that are charging $50 an eighth for fire ass weed and dope packaging,
quality, yeah.
And real quick, why is Colorado the only place like that? Because when I go to Cali and I go to other places, it's still 100. You know what I mean? A quarter, 58. You don't find no cheap weed like you in Cali, like you find here.
I think we have. I think
I
in my
think
opinion, I think there's a bit of an overflow sometimes.
We have a lot of weed.
I've been to plenty of dispensaries, and I'm a person like when I look a lot of time at flower, like I look at harvest batches, I look at dates, like I look at a lot of things when I'm purchasing flower. And if I buy a strain from you and it's like 6 months or more older, and it has no smell, the color, it's all prepackaged normally, which is, I know a lot of places are going more towards that now than the deli style, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But I can tell that, the quality's not there. I'm like, has this been sitting in light? Has this been sitting in a safe? Like,
Right.
And then but it's still, but again, like you were saying with the 50 and 8th, like even and then they want to charge that for that quality type of flower.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, if I'm going to spend 50, I'm going to go to a place that I know has really good quality flower. Like, I'm happy to spend that type of money if I know that the product is representative of that.
Right.
100%. Right. And if I'm supporting a really, a good business, like, a lot of the mom and pops, like, are suffering immensely. You see that with medical. Medical is just...
Oh, medical is hurting. I mean, it's literally conversations of, like, do we close medical doors?
Oh, totally.
All
and
the time.
I've seen it happen,
All the time.
I worked at 2 previous medical stores, and both of them have one closed completely and the other closed completely, and then they both got sold to, larger corporation.
That's what everyone's
LLCs. That's the old owners are over it. They're out. They want to get out of the game, and they get offered money, and that's it.
No, you see it all the time, and it's really tough, because there's other people that are still ambitious and still hungry and putting out quality, and the branding is cool behind it, and it's a struggle to get people in the doors because it's fucking $400 an ounce. I get it, but like it used to be $400 an ounce, and you weren't even getting the quality or the package. You know what I mean? It's like all branding behind it and all that. And other places are charging $100 an ounce. Some places are charging $60 an ounce.
Yeah,
I've seen fucking $30 ounces.
And that's the thing, though. You know what a $30 ounce looks like, and
Right.
you know what
Right.
$100 ounce looks like, or $200, or like.
Right. Totally.
Who are some of the because you guys are the experts? What are some of the people that are putting out like good quality cannabis right now as far as flower?
Gosh, I really enjoy Bloom County a lot. Big fan of them. Recently started doing some work with Bubba's Kush is their name. Really good quality flower. They did a vendor spot at 420 for us, which was really great.
I like that name.
Gosh, those are 2 I could think of off the top of my head. We love us some Be Good, obviously.
Hey.
Shout out,
Thank you. Yeah,
we always
sure.
shout out. And then one last one I've really been enjoying, Ion Cannabis. I really enjoyed them. They did a small buyers club event with us, and I tried some of their product.
That's
I was a really big fan. Really thought the cure job was excellent. Smell, flavor. I was high as shit. I was high as shit. So
I haven't heard of them.
I have great. Yeah, with 2 I's. IION.
IION.
Yeah,
okay.
totally.
Tight.
Yeah. All right.
Definitely.
What about you?
Yeah. I'm definitely on the Hidden City is like the best flower out right now. But that's just I'm kind of biased. No big deal.
Yeah.
I really think that there's been some quality stuff that's come out. Cherry's dope. They got some fire for sure. There's a lot of people I think that have good flower. I just think that it's hard because these guys know that they could really sell their weed for more than what they're selling it for. But in order for they have to sell fast enough to pay their bills and keep in production and keep going, so they have to drop their prices down. And it's really sad because you have big people like Native Roots and Live Well and shit putting out 100,000 pounds a month type shit. And it's like, how the fuck do you compete with that? How do you?
And their prices are just.
And they're selling it wholesale for
exactly,
the low. So like everybody's carrying that shit, and it's like, fuck. What?
And that's the thing. Once wholesale is involved, and you're able to be, you have your own parent stores, you know, which are like your mother stores basically, and then you're able to wholesale in other places. I mean, the visibility on that is
trying to corner the market.
Just, huge. You're you're in it. You're a name brand. Like there's tons of people that come even in them stores that are from other states, you know, that are familiar with Live One, may have never even been in the store. But again,
before you know, you're smoking the same old shit.
Yeah, all the more reason though I think to really promote the small stores within and the people that you really fuck with and that make really good quality product. Like, and you gotta let people, especially people from out of town, because that's the biggest thing you run into most of the time with visitors is they do want the deal or whatever they can get for the cheapest with. Give me the highest THC. Like that's the thing I hear 11 times out of 10.
And have no idea what that even means.
Exactly. And my thing is like, you know, I want people to have bigger discussions. Like, well, what do you like about the weed that you're smoking? What do you like about the flavors?
What's the terpene profile?
You know,
what's the fucking cannabinoid profile? Like, what are you doing?
Like let's talk deeper about this. Like, this weed makes you
on?
really tired. Like, are you really smoking THC or has it been like degraded?
You know, a lot of people don't even know about
at this
it.
point,
like, these are bigger things because a lot of people out there are like, oh, I keep it in a plastic bag and it sits on my shelf. Well, that's probably why you're knocking.
And look how frosty this shit. Like, bro, that's PM. Like you got.
So that's why you gotta teach them what's up.
People that I've seen going into dispensaries. Yeah, shame on a lot of these dispensaries that have weed on display that literally have PM on their leaves, and I've brought it up, and I've definitely been in dispensaries.
Explain what that is, because the people
powdery milk.
Yeah,
thank you.
Is it like some stuff they like sprinkle on it?
Nah, it's it grows. It was a growing mold. It's a funky, you know.
It's not good.
It's bacteria. It's not good. It's not good for you.
A lot of grows can, you know,
it happens.
When they do
it happens in
it
growing.
happens constantly.
All the time, but you have to do
thing.
quality control behind it.
Exactly.
People get botrytis. I get it. It's hard to fucking control the environment of a grow. The same environment that helps weed flourish also helps mold flourish.
Exactly.
So it's hard, but you fucking.
But that's why you put in these processes to prevent that from being an issue to where your product's not safe for the public, and you know that's and a lot of people have good product and can, you know, have low counts for yeast and mold, etc. You know, and they're doing their testing and stuff.
They're testing samples.
Exactly, and that's the thing. You know, I've talked about a lot with adulteration, or in my opinion, adulteration of samples. You know, there are a lot of places.
Frosting their shit out.
There's a lot of people that take specific samples and they alter them and adjust them so those can pass. But in my opinion, if you're altering a sample for it to pass testing, then that's not representative of your whole grow or this
And also, you're doing yourself
a
disservice. You don't know what your shit is at. Like, come on.
Wouldn't
you
want
to know? Yeah.
Isn't that like bootleg weed right there? Is that what you're kind of like saying?
Nah,
like they're not selling the official.
I don't want to call it. I don't want to say that it's bootleg because in my opinion, if you have, you know, a large issue with grow or, you know, with spider mites or whatever it may be in your grow, or you've got something that's affecting the quality of your flower and you're aware of it, you know, why not try to alleviate that situation or find you know, consult with a company, you know, a lot of labs now, like where I had previously worked,
fucking YouTube it.
You can
YouTube
that.
You
can learn anything on YouTube.
You can learn, but like even on a bigger level, like these guys are talking to each other. Growers, they're not just like, I'm not telling you how I got rid of my mind. You know, they're down to give each other information.
Well,
so
it's a lot of people that work together, like that want to wholesale from someone or someone that's like, I want your flower to process for concentrates or whatever it may be.
Everybody
you know, and you know how expensive it is if you fail, you know, micro, and then you have to do remediation processes and stuff. And then if you're remediating, you know, it's only going to be able to go towards concentrates, you know, and there's so much time, the effort, the money, I mean, it's everything.
I think you have your weed PhD over there, Jess, because
she knows so much about weed.
She's just laying it out right there. She's on the roll and everything.
She teaches me so much about weed.
I just feel like it's something that in Colorado we all consume constantly, right? A good majority of us, like we're sitting here smoking right now, we're sharing. Like if you bought something at the store and it visibly had mold on it, or you knew it had mold or had whatever it is, and it wasn't, you know, it wasn't removed, it was still on that, would you still want to consume that?
Right.
Would you want to share that with your group of friends or
Are
family
you buying
people?
that? No, you look for the shit without the mold to buy it.
Exactly.
Let it grow the mold while you have it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like they do these things to get the weed to pass, but then it's like, what do you sell to the public? And then 6 months later, they have a recall out for yeast and mold because they've gone into dispensary, they've gone wherever, and they've pulled product and they've tested.
They take it off the shelf. They test off the shelf.
And then they do the, you know, then you're on the MED's website, you're stuck on there. That shit never goes away. It's like a stamp on.
And everybody got one. Everybody got one.
Yeah.
Almost everybody has one.
Hey,
Not be good.
Talking about
I've
like
never been on that shit ever.
about regulations and recalls. I've been hearing this thing about fentanyl weed, and I think it's a bunch of bullshit. Like,
Fake
is
news.
it like the urban myth? It is the urban
Fake
myth,
news.
right? I mean, I'm sure it could happen.
I'm going there.
But motherfucker, yeah, it's not real.
I think you'd want to waste,
Fake news.
like, I personally, me, I've never done it. I have, lost plenty of friends and stuff from it. Rest in peace to all those people. But I don't know that someone would want to waste fentanyl in that sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, I see that more, like, laced in cocaine. Like, I see that more often in, like, deaths or people that overdose, etc. I just
Your
feel
weed
like
could
that's-
just smoke and not get somebody high. You're already, you got them. Ha ha. Joke's on you.
Yeah,
Like, you don't
right.
have to spread fentanyl on fucking weed. Like, that shit is, I think it's
Makes no
fake
sense.
fucking news. I don't
Yeah,
know.
for real.
I'm like, show me this weed.
Seems a little...
Show me this weed, and I'll
Seems
show
a
you.
little-
I'll show you a cartel that packed their weed and their fentanyl in the same truck.
I would like to see photo
And that's-
documentation, because usually with these things, there's
That's
somebody
probably
that's
what
got a
happened,
photo.
though.
There's maybe...
Like if they found trace amounts of fentanyl and marijuana, is that these fools are moving it all together in one fucking big truck or
Right.
whatever. It
Not
could that
anything
could be
crazy.
very well could be the case, and I don't know. Probably some fire ass swag. I'm just kidding.
It's like bath
I'm
salts.
so-
Oh
That's
my
like
God.
bath salts.
That was popular in Florida.
Turn you into
It's
zombies.
terrible.
Eating hearts on the highway,
yeah,
right?
they literally, there's videos
Yeah,
of people
faces.
eating each other.
See, I have another story about that I can't share with y'all either. So.
Oh my god.
Share it.
This fool just can't eat.
How are you gonna be like, I got stories,
You know
but
what, bro?
About
Don't start.
All I'll say is
Don't
a
start
group
with
of
us,
people,
bro.
like back in the day, that definitely couldn't smoke weed, but they all smoke weed. So that's what they had to do, is the spice and the black mamba and all that
Oh
shit.
yeah. Fools on
What?
parole and shit and can't.
Damn.
That shit happens for sure. I have plenty of friends that definitely did that, and I feel like they're all crazy now.
I bet.
that- it's like
I
a
mean, it fucks up
chemical-
your brain.
No, I'm for
Fucks
sure
up
like
your
they're
whole
fucked
entire
up right
being.
now.
I feel like that chemically messes you up. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I've done a lot of psychedelics and stuff in my day, and I'm fine, but I've done it in pretty controlled amounts. But I have friends that used to
Went hard.
went hardest
No, I
can
know.
be,
I have some
and I
buddies.
see them nowadays, and I mean, I can tell that they
They're
are
like-
they are worn through. The brain is
Right.
They
not
got the
like your
that look.
pieces are the puzzle is not.
Yeah, I fucking got fucked up.
And at my point, I'm like, was it really
yeah,
worth it? Was it?
Yeah.
And at that point, I just feel like that's abusing a psychedelic as opposed to really.
Oh yeah.
Not that everybody needs to
You're
use it to
making
heal
it a
from
drug.
something.
You're
It
making
can
it a
also be
drug.
for fun, but I think that at some point, anything can be abused.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're taking
Everything
it from
100%.
being something fun to being a real drug.
extreme.
It's like a coping mechanism at that point. It's a numbing thing to
Yeah.
keep away from reality.
Just people aren't
Or,
happy with
quote, unquote,
themselves,
your reality.
I feel like a lot of those people just ended up doing more than psychedelics too.
Probably.
That's fair.
You know?
Or just did a lot. Like, I mean,
On a bunch of drugs too. It's like Molly and fucking, and they're doing like X pills and it's laced with other shit.
That's my
So
thing
it's
too.
just-
A lot of it's
Xanax,
laced, and then you're like,
Meth.
Gotta
then you're
Google
like
that
coming
shit.
down from a high of like a
Now
head.
you're
you gotta
meth- now
Google
you're
that
meth-
shit.
meth withdrawing
And
Yeah.
some heroin and meth.
because you bought a whole bunch of pink dolphins. Just kidding.
Bet you feel cool.
I'm just kidding. Remember that shit? The pressed pills?
Stop.
Like the fucking yellow Lamborghinis, fool. These are
The
the
Versace's. I remember Beavis and
Bro, the
Butthead.
LVs.
I got the Homer Simpson,
Gooch.
fool.
Yo, those were cool.
Those are so sick. The Louis Vuittons.
Hey, what do y'all
I hated those.
what do y'all think of like the Super Bowl kind of halftime show that kind of just went on? It's like the first time like really hip hop's been really kind of
Oh shit! We're switching
Represented.
straight to fucking
I think
halftime show.
I think it was cool first
Let's
that all the
go.
people together were people that like had
Like
all
it.
been through recovery. That was something I think I had read and noted about and thought was really cool that they were all on stage,
So-
alive together, recovering from whatever substance abuse they'd had in the past, but they were all thriving, human beings from what it seemed, and thought it was great.
I
That
thought it was super dope.
I thought it was real dope too, man.
Oh, yeah.
And then of course like one of the hot topics right now is like they didn't want 50 Cent. And Eminem said like if you don't take 50 Cent, you ain't getting Eminem, and
Good.
I heard that.
like
too,
they
yeah.
said,
Damn.
Eminem's Dr. Dre's dude.
So then they had
Oh,
a
yeah.
50 Cent hanging upside down.
that was
No,
kind of
so
funny.
You know what's funny though
That was
too?
so funny.
Yeah,
I
what
He
was-
looked like a bulldog.
He was pretty solid up there.
Yo, he was
Yeah, he
bold.
Not gonna lie, that fool was
Look at
solid. I was like, how is that thing holding him?
I don't know if anybody
Definitely.
else noticed
That
within
set
their
was
like
strong.
realm of friend groups or anything like that, but or age groups even. You know, obviously that was catered more to a lot of us in our particular age group. You know, I thought 80s, 90s, 2000s, etc. But when he came down, you know, I was like stoked. I like had the music video playing in my mind, you know. But there were a few people around me that were younger than me that were kind of like,
what the fuck is going on?
And I'm like, y'all don't remember that video when he's in the gym?
Yeah, like
Smart water was the thing, you know, and he was like chugging smart vitamin
that's when
water.
he just bought in on vitamin water. He just had,
and it was like every scene was like kind of how like Beats is now, you know, every video you see like a girl got Beats headphones
that's
in or whatever
exactly
that
what
is,
it was.
you know. But yeah,
that's what his music video
it took me
was
back
like.
though, and I was like, see, this is like the beauty of music and performing and having these
it takes
things.
You to a place.
Yeah, and all my homies around me were all like, this is so cool, you know. But again, back.
But
to
the younger kids, they definitely couldn't relate to it and understand what was happening.
Yeah, it was such a culture shock because I feel like I grew up seeing that, you know, like my parents singing something or doing something. I was like always scratching my head and being like, what are y'all even doing? This is weird.
Taking
and
it back though,
like, exactly. And now me, like 30 as an adult, I'm like doing stuff and
same shit.
When it takes you to another space and time, like another place and time, that's. Honestly, I think that is the beauty. That's the best part of music. That's what it's all about. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So real quick, man, give me your 2 songs that will take you back to a certain point in time.
Damn, you had to do me 2 songs.
If you want, I'll start with one. I'll say DJ Quick and Tony Tone. You know what I mean? You know. And then I would be like on some like I would say some Mass Appeal by Gangstar. Sally Cell took me back to college days.
I think, Sally Cell. Damn. It's going down tonight.
It's going down nice the shit.
Damn, that's a good one.
It's going down.
Regulators, just because it's like at every single house party that I ever been to.
For real? I could see that shit.
I'm like, Regulators. It's funny because I'll go out to like the most suburb. Fucking, I'm the only Mexican or I'm the only speck of color in this motherfucking house. And Regulators comes on and everybody knows every single word of the song. I'm like,
shit, when we were here at the table the other day doing the podcast and the ICR homies, they all started singing the Nate Dogg shit and Warren G word for it. I was kind of like,
bro,
I'm telling you. Yeah.
That shit, you know, Regulators is one of those ones. But like, honestly, like, for me, I was like really, I don't listen to it.
Die.
Yeah, that kind of shit for sure. But even more than that, I think Bone Thugs. Because it was like that time. I don't listen to it now, and I'm like over it. Really, to be honest with you, I'm like, you can only come out of the coming and bumming and coming and running. You only do that shit so much, and I'm like, all right, I'm over it now. But like for probably 2 decades, I listened to Bone Thugs. I had all the CDs. I fucking listened to that shit. I knew the words.
You like one of those because they got die hard.
I knew the words.
Die hard motherfuckers.
Nobody just knows the words to Bone Thugs.
Yeah, especially.
I knew the words to Bone Thugs. Like, you know, it was like that. Like I loved it. But then, you know, after it started getting to Mo Thugs and all the extra shit, and they started doing all the
extra,
I was like, all right, I'm done. But you know, Twista and all that kind of shit after that. But really, that's. I don't know. Mexican music, I think, is more than anything, is more nostalgic for me.
Same,
you know?
Literally. Like, I don't know a lot of like artists and like, you know, all these different people, and it was like,
it plays.
Right, and then I'll know it. But it's like, you know, people are like, well, how do you not know this person or this person? I'm like, well, I grew up being Mexican, you know. It's like the Mexican songs is where I know what's up.
I'm on that old school drunk borracho shit.
Yeah, I got
your fucking dad was he was all drunk.
I got both sides. I got, you know, so one side of my family was Chicano, like none of them knew Spanish. My grandma did. My grandma knew Spanish, and I knew it better than her. My other side of the family was Mexican, like straight paisa from Mexico, and that's who raised me. You know, my grandma ended up taking me in and raising me, and I would go to Mexico every summer, and that's when I for sure I just had to learn. There was no choice.
But you got a couple songs that take you back there, Jess?
Gosh, well, as I said before, growing up in Kentucky, I feel like I kind of had everything because country obviously was the biggest definer. And me personally, like I loathe country so much, but luckily I grew up in 90s country, and so I mean, I grew up with old style country with my grandmother, like, you know, Patti Loveless, George Jones, like a lot of the older big hitters. Dolly Parton, can't not name her. She's like the fairy godmother of Conway Twitty. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I could go. But then you get into the 90s and, you know, a lot of it was, you know, Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, Reba,
Right.
you know, Lord, I can't even think of
Fucking
it. Shania
Reba.
Twain, come on.
Fucking Reba.
Bro, Reba.
Oh my god.
Right, does that take you back?
Fucking funny. My auntie was country. No, for no reason. I mean, I guess. No, all right, I take that back. She grew up on the ranch in Mexico.
Yeah.
She's Mexican
I grew up
ranch.
kind of on a farm. And
But
so
like,
it's very similar.
whatever. Anyways, all that shit I listened
Probably
to.
Shania Twain, but then I also got a lot of influences. Like my mother was, in my opinion, kind of a free spirit. Like I always had CCR, Fleetwood Mac, you know, all the good old
CCR's
stuff.
the shit.
Yeah, come on.
Listen, and then, but I, you
Good
know,
old
and even
Clint.
into the like, have you know, dabbled in a little bit of the Grateful Dead, a lot of the Doors. Like I listened
Grateful
to so
Dead's the
much Jim
shit,
Morrison
too.
as a
Okay.
kid. You know, it was a really big thing
That's
for
tight.
me. But then my dad was like this weird kind of metalhead, so it was a lot of like Metallica or Megadeth or like tons of Black Sabbath. It kind of varied, and then obviously the country kind of came in when my mom and dad were together, and that's where those, you know, Shania Twain was like, I probably
Really?
listened to her like every day.
That's wild. So their influences were
Huge.
before they weren't even country, really.
Yeah, not really, you know, because I mean they both were born and raised in Kentucky, different areas.
I
Obviously,
feel like that
but-
with parents. Like growing up, they all listened to. My mom even listened to Biggie at one time.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
that's
It was
so-
just like listening.
My
to
dad did a
radio.
little bit of rap. I really feel like I didn't really, and it's funny because a lot of my friends or people I work with, or people that know me, make fun of me because I sing and know so many rap songs. But I feel like when I was in like maybe middle school or so, I started getting that more integrated. And then into high school, like 3-6 Mafia was one of my favorite like groups to listen to. Like LaChat was my girl. I'm telling you, if I ever had the chance to meet her, we would have been homegirls. Like what's that late night tip? God, what's that song? It used to be like one of my favorite songs. I sing that like every day. But yeah, you know, those things didn't roll in until later. But I really loved having a wide variety of music around me. You know, it was never just one set thing, and I think that's kind of nice, you know, because like I said, I loathe country and how it is now, but I can still go on like YouTube or Spotify and search, you know, and take it back.
Right.
And
But it's still, being eclectic with music, it makes a huge difference, I think, too. Like, not just sticking to one thing. It helps you be a little more well-versed.
You got to diversify your portfolio.
it's true, and there's so much beautiful music out there that's so different, you know, and I think that's the beautiful thing about it. You know, even I feel like more so recently, you know, have been enjoying like jazz more. You know, like a lot of, even when I drive, like if I go in the mountains, I will 100% on like classical music. It's just
that's
something
great.
about, sometimes it's nice to really, I don't know, it's
Start
nice.
feeling like a movie and
Like
shit.
I don't, it's just like it like hits the scenery. I remember
Yeah.
driving one time to like Grand Junction or something, and I found an AM station that was doing Star Wars.
Oh, sick.
And it was very cool. It was this entire symphony doing all these, and it was just like driving through the mountains, like going on I-70, just having this around you, and it's just like
That's
High as
so.
fuck.
it creates a
No, we don't smoke.
Yeah.
Hey,
we don't
hey.
smoke it, right?
Obviously. Nah.
We don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just really creates a full experience that I think is another reason that I love Colorado too. You know, it's,
Right.
I don't find that really a lot of places, and I find it here. It's like a piece, you know.
What's
Yeah.
Kentucky is more flat, more.
It's a lot of foothills, a lot of rolling hills, like you know the blue hills. You have the
Right,
grass that
right,
rolls.
right.
Lots of horses, lots of farmland.
Right.
Robels. Hay bales, robels, and tobacco.
But nothing
tobacco
like-
and corn. Oh no,
nothing
nothing
like
like
that.
this.
Tobacco and corn.
I feel like you can get the Red River Gorge is a nice like hiking area, but it's obviously, you know, you're in tree line. It's not. It's nothing like this, in my opinion. You know, it's beautiful, but it's beautiful in its own way. But it's not comparable to Colorado in any way, shape, or
Oh,
form.
yeah,
in my
Colorado's
opinion.
beautiful.
You know, a lot of rock climbers go there and
It's
stuff.
like-
You know, it's really great for
there's
that.
boulders
In my
and shit.
opinion, yeah, a lot of the areas and stuff are very intricate. You know, I put it that way.
That's
For me, you know, I've done a lot of camping there.
That's cool.
Teen years and stuff, and it's
Right.
beautiful. Yeah, if you're in Kentucky, go to the Red River Gorge. Check it out.
That sounds
Go
sick.
camping.
Camping season's almost here.
Almost.
You guys
I
like
hate camping.
Really?
I'm not trying to sleep on no
You
dirt
literally get
or no
away from
rocks.
the real world
get an
type
RV.
deal. It's
I'm
like
straight.
all
You
organic,
could go
That's
natural.
not, that's not camping. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
camping.
Oh yeah.
You gotta really get dirty. That's
Yeah,
part of
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
that
glamp
rock,
out.
That rock in your
Definitely.
back or
Yeah,
that
so it's
fucking
not-
stick.
Get a
or,
really comfortable, mattress and
Right.
stuff,
That's
like
not
the blow up
camping.
ones.
That's not
I'm
camping.
down if I only have to worry about myself.
Yeah.
The moment you have to worry about anybody else camping, fucking sucks.
No, everyone worries about themselves when they
Yeah.
camp. They're like, know
You're
what's
supposed
up.
to, but I'm just saying, it doesn't always happen that way.
Right.
But no, I have kids too, so it's like,
I feel sorry for you.
I'm like, I'm not going camping with them
Ever.
for sure.
Kids.
Ever.
I'll go by myself.
Until they're 18.
I did. My son's 13. He's. But I did go with my friend. We rode from Oakland to San Diego on our bicycles.
Wow.
Damn.
It took 2.5 weeks, and we camped.
Oh my
the whole way.
gosh.
That was pretty dope. So
That's crazy.
There's things I would do again, but
Not with the kids.
camping, man, fuck. Hey, there better be some showers in the bathroom,
God.
I mean, it's a campground, like those campgrounds.
At Denny's.
I'm
Yeah,
down
yeah.
with some shit like that.
Denny's,
You
But
know,
like out in the wilderness.
that's
and
how
setting
I
up and
used to
finding
think,
shit.
but it's like, I just got, we're all one at the end of the day, and like, especially with nature,
Fuck that.
it just literally is amazing.
I
Just
could
being
get-
you and nature and just enjoying it all.
You
Don't
know
have
what,
to
though?
worry about work, don't have to worry about paying bills, don't have to worry about this, don't have to worry, you're just literally pretty
That
much
off-grid
meditating.
I was like,
You
I
know?
It's
I-
pretty wild though. It's wild
It's
out there.
great.
There's really animals out there.
That's
Yeah,
it.
there
You
is.
might
One
get
of the
fucked
nights-
up.
There's animals in this
One of the nights, we woke up and I just heard all this like walking big footsteps. It's terrifying. Big footsteps, like a bunch of them too. I'm like, what the fuck? And so I'm scared. I'm like, fuck. So I like unzip the tent barely, and I peek out. And my homie's like, what the fuck is it? I'm like, hold up, looking, and I look up, and it's this humongous elk
Oh, damn.
just standing
But
right.
Jeff-
I'm like
That's
literally
scary.
looking at
Breathing on
his
you.
breath. Like you can see his breath, like the
Yeah.
fucking steam.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy
wet
shit!
as
The whole movie.
Fucking my heart just starts pounding because
I
he is not the
bet.
only one. There's like I could just see
Oh
all
my
kinds of them. Cause he even unzips his side. He's like, dude,
The whole
there's fucking
family.
hundreds. No,
No, there's a whole herd.
There's a whole
herds.
fuck the family. These fools-
Not a
Friends and
family.
homies
This is
and
the whole neighborhood.
acquaintances.
This is their neighborhood. I'm in their
The
neighborhood.
gang.
I feel like I was in their neighborhood.
Gang.
It was fucking terrifying.
Wow.
You probably were. They were probably just like
Like what? the
going about
fuck
their
are these
business, and
fools-
they're like, "Ooh, these
What is this?
fools, look
Check
like
Yeah.
this. No, they're like, look at this
You're in
orange
our
thing.
land.
It's a tent, like a little orange tent. Like, what the fuck is this little orange tent?
How
And we're
old-
just like tucked away because we're kind of off the trail, and it was getting dark, so we didn't realize how far away.
Yeah.
Damn.
The moment the sun fucking peeked over the hill, we jumped up and just got ready right away.
Oh, I'm sure.
So it
Go.
was fucking terrifying.
Let's go.
That's animals are out there, and every single night, raccoons are in our bags. All the Cliff Bars.
You gotta hang your
Yeah.
bags in the
I'm
tree.
like, you
the
sons
You
of
gotta
bitches.
look
Now you
at
just
it
put them in
like
the
that.
tent.
Oh,
Now you just put them in
yeah.
the tent.
I
No,
guess, yeah.
or the food and
Put
all
it in
that
your
shit.
sleeping bag.
Yeah.
I used
But
to
we
do
have
that.
we have these bags that are pretty dope, and they zip up on our bikes and shit. But there's a water tube hole, and they'd reach their little fucking hands in there,
Really?
and like
smart.
they're so
Dude,
smart.
animals are crazy
Hell
Oh,
smart.
raccoons are fucking sick
Oh
with
my
it. And then I just
gosh.
unzip my tent, be like, "Hey, you little motherfuckers!" And they like walk off all slow, like,
Yeah.
"I'll be back."
Like Pepe Le Pew.
Nah, fuck you, dude. I'll be right
Their
back.
little hands are like this.
That's funny.
Little trash cans.
Yeah,
The cute little hands.
they have cute little hands.
Right?
You know, if they
They're
didn't
so
have rabies
cute.
and fucking bite the fuck out of you,
I
I would want
know,
one.
I'm
When I see
saying,
him, I'm
I
always
would
like,
want
"You're
to
so
pat
cute.
them.
Yeah, you're-
Just get away.
get away
Yeah.
from me.
Like,
you little bastard.
I've seen some raccoons up there by Dove Valley where the Broncos play, bro. They're bigger than pit bulls for real.
Stop.
There's humongous.
Yeah.
There's humongous
Yeah.
raccoons.
I would not fuck with them.
No, there are humongous raccoons.
They will
Oh
chase
my
you. They will like come at
God.
you too.
They'll
Like
come
they're
at you.
Yeah,
protective.
they will.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I remember I
Hell
fucking
no.
dropped off clothes one night, pulling like 20 of them
Fuck
peeked out of
that.
his trash can on him and
Fuck
shit.
that.
I will smoke a fucking raccoon so fast. Like,
I'm
and you're
gonna
dead.
bite you and you don't let go. Oh man. No.
And you're dead.
That's
It's not worth
scary.
rabies. It's not worth the rabies.
Yeah, I'm just shooting a
There's so many of
raccoon
them.
immediately.
I'm not
If
saying
If I
wanna
can't
kill
get in
them,
my
but, like,
if I can't get in my car or away from
Oh.
them immediately, I'm shooting a raccoon.
Oh my god.
I 100% guarantee you, he is not getting close enough to me to bite me. And you're dead.
That's illegally disfiring an arm in the city limits.
You know.
Hey,
The homie did that shit.
that happens.
You know Rev back in the day, J Rev?
No.
Fucking, he used to hang out with Sam and that, but they were living in the north side and like some fucking little foxes, like not a little fox, but a fox rode up on it. That fool blasted that shit.
Damn.
They called the cops on him, bro. He got like 3 tickets and all kinds
Oh
of
my
crazy
God.
shit.
No.
Yeah. Straight up.
That's some bullshit.
You got
Definitely ain't
you
Kentucky,
definitely got-
No.
cake.
Can I have one of those Oreos now?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Their birthday cake.
Birthday cake Oreos.
Hey, so one of the things I want to talk about too is like I know we like verses. Verses is kind of a new thing, but like this new verses kind of throws me off, man. It's like Onyx versus Cypress Hill. Like, what? How does that happen? That's what I'm asking y'all.
It's kind of awkward. And Cypress Hill is gonna burn the fuck out of Onyx.
Yeah, no cap on Onyx, but like Cypress Hill's almost a little more international. You know what I mean?
And seasoned. They made it
I agree
through
with that.
decades.
Uh-huh.
Onyx made it
They
a
have
few
a
years.
following. They have like a presence.
Who would
what
be
do they
good
have?
for Cypress Hill and for Onyx? I'm thinking like
Onyx will be.
you know who would be a good Cypress Hill? I think is someone like EPMD, dog. Like maybe some EPMD. They got a good, you know.
Yeah, you're right. EPMD. Or. Okay, maybe not. I don't know.
That's kind of a hard one though, because they're kind of on a
Onyx?
level more than their own. Onyx, I would think Onyx would be like MOP. You can maybe fuck with MOP.
You're right.
You can fuck with Boot Camp Click.
MOP actually would be perfect.
You know what I mean? You
They
could
have the
fuck
same
with
amount of like main hits, and then they have all their other shit.
yeah. I mean, there's a couple from, but like Cypress Hill, that's kind of a weird one.
No, who's Cypress Hill? Who would you have to put up against them?
That's what I'm trying to think of. That's kind of a hard one on their own. Maybe
It'd
like
have
a
to be
Public
like-
Enemy.
Ooh.
Public Enemy versus Cypress Hill
Enemy
would be
would be-
lit
that'd be
right
hard.
there.
That'd be a cool one.
They're a little different age, but still you got to think of that.
The era's
The
so
dynamics
different.
are similar.
The era's so different though.
Cypress Hill and who else? Let me see. Cypress Hill and
Damn, what would be a good one though? That's a tough question.
it is because like who kind of like tours like that? You know what I mean?
It'd have to be
Yeah,
somebody
they're very.
big. They have to be good, like in season. Like
I can't think of anyone kind of like
anybody like that.
you know. That's a hard one.
I don't know.
Who would maybe be some verses you guys would like to see?
Oh boy.
Like one of my, I'll start off like
Yeah.
I'll start.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Couple of the homies that we know, I'd love to see the Alcoholics versus Farside. That would be sick.
That'd be great.
West Coast, they're both
That'd be such a good
legends.
one.
They both got the hits, and they could.
And they're the
fucking-
same, and they're both like East Coast influenced.
Exactly, they're both fit into both.
They fit
you
the
know what I
same
mean? They would
criteria.
bring the bigger crowd. They would bring the West and the East and everyone
Yeah.
else.
Bro.
Because for the
That'd
long
be a
time,
good one.
you know, like Cypress Hill, you didn't even know Cypress Hill was from LA.
Right.
I thought they're from New York all day.
Oh no, I knew they were from LA.
know?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Gosh.
They're OGs from LA.
All day.
I mean, they do have that New York sound though. For sure.
No, for real. I remember that shit,
That House
bro.
of
In
Peace.
high school, when I saw that shit, and I would have never, if it had been a $1 million question, I'd have lost, because no way.
For sure.
And I even think after listening to that shit, you probably really didn't even know unless you really, really paid attention.
Damn. Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera.
Oh, I love
They
that.
would be like,
That's
Oh my God, that would be the
That would be
sickest
the
verses.
best.
That would be the hardest verses.
You know how much money that would make?
That's what I'm
So
saying.
much
Let's get
money.
down. What's up? Can I get a
Right.
cut
Oh
on
my
that?
gosh.
I'm trying to get in on. No, that would be an amazing one though.
I would want to see like I know one of them's already passed away, but I would like to see Young Dolph and.
I went to see
Gucci
Young
Mane.
Dolph. I'm glad I seen him
Okay.
before he passed.
I know that's listen. I'm
wild.
not saying they're similar by any means.
No, that's
But
good.
I would love to hear. You know, they both have so. And I want. And let me also preface that I want old Gucci Mane. I don't want new.
Not new.
Yeah.
I want old Big Belly. I say it all the time.
Big belly.
Big
Ice
belly.
cream on the face.
Yeah.
Just menace. I want him,
Gangster
and then I
ass.
want Young Dolph.
Jeremy
obviously.
Pape.
Young Dolph,
Jeremy
yeah.
Pape Gucci.
Jeremy
Jeremy
Pape. That's what I was
Pape.
talking about earlier. I asked her if she
Yo.
knew Jeremy Pape.
Pape Gucci. That's what you're talking about. Trap House Gucci.
Yes. Yes.
You're
East
talking
Atlanta
about-
Santa. I want.
East Atlanta Santa. You're talking
Listen,
about.
I want. Gosh, or like. What's that dude's name? I'm trying to even Google it because I can't think of his name.
You know, I
Bone
would
Thug
really
and
like to
Cypress
see
Hill.
R.I.P.
That would be a
Mac
good
Miller.
Bone Thug and Cypress Hill.
That would be a good
That would
one.
be a good one.
That would be a good one. Yeah.
You know, I'd like to see No Limit versus Cash Money.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be.
Who would you put
That would
against
be a hard one.
Luke and 2 Live Crew?
That would have to be like who's the fool that did I put my hand upon my hip when I dip you dip we did. It'd have to be that fool.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
I'm just joking.
I don't know why I said that. I'm high. Just
2 Live Crew. I was just thinking about it.
They do have some.
No,
some
they have
bangers,
other
though.
bangers, yeah, for sure.
They have some bangers and shit.
Damn. I know that is a good question though. Like, who would be a good versus out there?
Gosh, I would like to see. They're both so different too, though. I don't know. Every time that I think of like artists that I'd like to hear together, I'm like, or against each other. Not even, yeah, I guess in that sense, you know. I don't know. I feel like I'm thinking of too many different artists.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. So many good artists.
So I got the $1 million question for you right here. I got the $1 million question. The $1 million one for you. Death Row or Bad Boy?
Oh man.
I honestly think I'm like a
So tight.
on a like numbers and just crazy level. I think I go like Death Row. I think Tupac's catalog and fucking Snoop's and Dre's would murder Bad Boys. Biggie's tight and all, but
I know
they don't have the backup like that.
I know, but they're not as solid either, and you know what I mean. Like their shit was all over the place, all drama.
What do you mean?
Row. But like,
I'm talking hit for hit though.
I know hit for hit, yes.
Hit for a hit, like
yeah,
you can't. I don't even think honestly, and I'm saying this. This is Joe Thunder's opinion.
But I fuck with Biggie more than.
I don't think Bad Boy can get with Tupac's catalog.
I agree.
Tupac.
Maybe not his catalog, but I like Biggie more than I like Pac. So I don't know. That's an unpopular opinion.
Why'd you like Biggie more than Pac?
Just because his lyrical, like he was more the way he spit. It was grimy. I like that's my kind of hip hop, and that's what I was into. And the way he spit it. For me, Tupac was a artist, activist, hypocrite.
Like you said,
MC, like
yeah,
he was
Biggie
dope,
had
a poet.
The lyrics all day.
He was a poet.
Biggie was aggressive and he was graphic too.
But Tupac,
he was wild.
He was
but Tupac,
hard,
you felt
honestly.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only other person, and not to compare him, that kind of comes close to Tupac is Kendrick Lamar. When you hear his music, you feel that shit. You're like, boom, boom, boom.
So
not many people get you like that. So that's kind of different.
I like Joey.
Joey Badass.
Yeah, but whatever.
Oh yeah.
You know,
great.
it's funny. I like that lyrical, grimy, gutter rap shit.
Yeah.
Like I didn't necessarily like his newer album, the America. What is it? The America KKK, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was cool. Like I liked a few tracks off of it, but his older shit, you know, Joey Badass was the shit.
Yeah, I like Joey Badass.
He fucking spit, and he used to reference Biggie's raps all the time. Bro, he was so tight. He's so tight. He is so tight. But Biggie, for me, it's that cutthroat, you know, wild shit. He's had a few sus ass lines. Don't get me wrong. For sure. But
he's like,
yeah,
two or three other.
Right. But hey, that's whatever. That's not here nor there.
You're expressing. You're just getting the words out. You
Exactly.
know? Whatever.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
And but honestly, I always like. Everybody hated me for it. Denver's a fucking West Coast.
Yeah.
Loving city.
For sure.
Everyone hated me. I love Wu-Tang. I love Biggie.
Wu-Tang Gang.
I fuck with
I'm with the shit. You know?
Yeah.
Everybody else.
They came here not too long ago.
They were all NWA and Dre and
all that shit. Spice One. They're before that shit. I remember when that shit drew down.
Yeah, drew down.
E40. RBL
No,
Posse.
I like Bay Area shit's different for me. I like Bay Area shit a lot. That shit goes. That's some of my favorite music.
That's like what people
and down south, Houston shit, like hard.
H-Town.
Yeah, representing.
Yo.
That was my shit. I like
My homie put me onto that at an early stage.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And fucking.
That was early on in UGK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I don't even know, bro. Probably like 15 years ago. We'll just say that. We'll keep it at that. I'm trying to think like.
Check it out. Here's that weed.
Here's the Hidden City.
Hidden City.
Getting
Divine
gritty.
Flower. This is heavy.
Knock
Oh, the
somebody out with it.
packaging, the gold. Who was it talking about? Like that gold was better than silver. You, right?
Well, of course, gold's better than silver.
Hell yeah, I love gold.
I would
looks
like
so
to
good.
see. I had a thought about one. I would like to see because I really like Schoolboy Q a lot.
Oh
Check
shit.
this out.
I'd like to see him and ASAP Ferg.
Oh, dope.
Okay.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, I kind of like how I've always had like a thing for Schoolboy Q, but I really enjoy a lot the way that he raps. You know, and same
I
thing.
think he
It's
would. I
it's
think
kinda
he
deep
would
and grimy and
take
kinda,
that for sure.
Oh yeah, I think that he would too.
Ferg's
but I think
dope,
it'd be
but
fun.
I think-
Ferg's like
I think Q would smoke him though.
I think Schoolboy Q would smoke.
I don't think
first.
it's. I don't.
Oh,
think,
for sure. Yeah, I think he would smoke him.
Oh yeah, I just I'm thinking now more of a sense of like who I'd really enjoy to see rap amongst each other, you know, or even like who else is real kind of loud and like Tyler the Creator. I haven't heard a lot from him in a long time. But I really did like him back in the day, but same thing, he was like fucking weird and just
out there.
Like, yeah, out there.
Tyler and who though? Ooh, he would be a good versus with somebody.
He popped in my mind to getting on. I was like, does Childish Gambino, does he do music anymore? Is he still do shit?
I haven't heard from him in a while.
He's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like kind of heavy and growly.
No, you're right. And he has that smooth shit too. He's very diverse.
Yeah, I could see that.
He's dynamic. That would be a good one.
Exactly. Yeah, he's very animated too. Like I think for him being an actor as well, that's something that ties.
Tyler's just he's so all over the place, but. Very,
I love watching his performances. I just feel like he's just.
I like him.
It. Yeah.
I like him. His music, I think, is dope, and there's songs that I'm like, this is super fresh. Mm-hmm. There's quite a few, but a lot of it, I'm like, all right, I like you and your personality. Loiter Squad's dope. Like he fucking killed it. Like Odd Future's the shit. They just killed it. You know. Sid is the shit. Internet. Is dope as fuck. Mm-hmm. You know, I love their shit.
I'd be fucking with ASAP Rocky. His music videos be trippy too.
His when I first heard of him with that purple swag, that was the first video I ever seen. I was like, this fool's hard.
Yeah. I love it. It brings back memories too. You know.
And it was only in the YouTube video. He didn't even drop that that song. Like, you couldn't even get that track how it is in the video.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's lit.
I was singing some old school shit. I was singing like Tribe and Beastie Boys.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Damn.
Actually, we got a trifecta. We could do Tribe, Beastie Boys, and De La. All three.
Damn.
Or even a good one too, dog. How about the fucking Liquid Crew versus the Native Tongue?
Oh, yeah, that'd be sick.
And have like 20, 30 deep on each side, like some crazy shit. That's when they need some shit like
J5 versus Brand Nubian.
Brand Nubian Smoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brand
You're right.
is my shit.
You're right.
Like,
maybe that couldn't do J5. It'd have to be somebody more epic. But Dilated Peoples and
J5
motherfucking goddamn
Brand Nubian.
That's
it. I think that's two different. You know, like you said, I think the different eras kind of interfere.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is different eras, but I still think that'd be a good one.
Who was tight like that back in the day for like Brand Nubian, dog? You'd probably. I mean, can you?
Lost Effects.
I don't think they can hang. I was gonna say more like maybe Gangstar.
Gangstar, okay.
They could fuck.
I think Gangstar would actually burn them. Yeah, I go Gangstar.
You go with DOS Effects. You go Lords of the Underground.
Lords of the Underground and DOS Effects. That'd be a great one.
You can throw Onyx in there too. Shit,
Onyx
fuck
too.
it. Honestly,
that actually would be a good one.
Trifecta right there, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's when y'all start doing that, having 3 groups for verses, y'all kick us a little bit of bread, cause you know.
Yeah, you know.
But that would be the perfect one right there, yeah, man. Is there any Denver, any Colorado verses you'd like to see?
Yeah.
If you say one, I'll say one.
I don't really want to say. I just don't want to say any of them. AP and Trev Rich.
Hey.
That's who it would have to be.
Shout out AP. Shout out everyone.
But I don't want to see anybody win or lose. Like it's crazy, and it isn't even like that. It's all love. But I don't know who else. Who else would be really good?
I'm trying to think. I mean, you could go like some old school cats. You know what I mean?
If we're going old school,
you could probably.
What's up? Fucking Pure Devotion and Arapaho Truce.
There you go. I was trying to think. Fucking. How about fucking Life Crew, which is Main Rock, Main and all them versus Tetra, which is Haven dropping all those fools. Nice.
Yeah, that Life and Tetra.
Yeah, the original Tetra was like a kind of like I got the breakdown from Nice today, but I consider them a graffiti crew.
They were hip hop.
But they were like a hip hop crew.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're actually the original Triangle. Like Chris wasn't like that was like their shit, and then Chris took that because he was part of Tetra. And if you want to say one of the top ones, but kind of took that. But that's actually from their crew, and that's where you would see like some crews write letters. They would have the Triangle. And you knew that shit was everywhere you was seen it. Yeah, so I mean,
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? That would be a good one right there. Live Crew versus Tetra.
Tetra versus Live.
Beats and everything. Got a couple producers, couple rappers, couple artists.
That would actually be fresh, all around battle.
If y'all do that shit, y'all better kick me down some money too, because you know that'll make some money. For real, that'd be a good ass.
They could all bring it all together.
I don't know. You might be able to, bro. If you plan that shit like 3 months ahead, you might be able to get motherfuckers psyched.
That'd be the freshest.
Because you get motherfuckers like, nah, fool, we're fucking tired than you.
That would be the freshest one, though.
That would be kind of sick.
Nah, you know, whatever. I don't want
He's like, I don't want to get it over now.
Let's talk about it.
But there's quite a few. Who else?
Who could you put Den against? You can put Den against someone. Nah. Nah. Den's like hip hop. Den's like.
He's different.
Who's just like a hip hop motherfucker?
Oh, spoken words.
Yeah, that might work. That
might work. Because who else, really?
I'm trying to think. I can't think. Damn, someone that's just...
Bubba
yeah, there you go.
Fly.
Bubba Fly versus Den. That'd be a good one. Shit. Y'all probably have no idea what we're talking about, huh?
No.
We're just some cats from kind of in the city. Just
It's cool though. It's cool to hear you guys talk about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
definitely.
Obviously, and
History.
you know, there's always people that
The
enjoy
history
it and being exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's just not a part of the scene that I've been, you know,
Same.
been
got
woven
some
in any way, shape, or form. But that's
dope
awesome.
People.
Oh yeah, that's great.
I've definitely been to like a lot,
Dope
like you and I earlier, Joe, were talking about like Cervantes. You know, I used to go
Yeah.
to so many shows at Cervantes a lot of times. Like I remember one time I saw Currency at Cervantes, and he had a couple like local dudes open for him. And Lord, I wish I could remember their names at this point, but they were, you know, they killed it. And
That's
even
where I
back
kind of
then
seen
and
my
now.
first like local like hip hop. I seen The Fly and I seen Break Mechanics at the Slick Rick concert.
Nice.
They were
Like,
hard.
God.
Yeah, that was shit. That was Cervantes back in the days when you just go through the back door.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. I remember that. I remember that
you know
little
what I
area
mean?
back
Like,
there. I think my first show I ever saw it here was a Christmas show at Cervantes, and it was Grouch and
The
Eli.
Grouch, yeah.
Yeah,
Sick.
and that was such a sick show. Yeah, and then after that, I was like hooked. Obviously, it was like I did so. The first like year I lived here, I did so many concerts, even if it was Serves or the Roxy, or like I lived in Greeley at the time, so it was like
Roxy.
yeah, bro.
Sick.
Sick.
Homeboy downstairs runs the Roxy.
So many Red Rock shows, so many, every little venue that I could think of, that, you know, would go to a place, you know.
What's your
had to
two
say-
favorite shows you've ever seen?
Ooh, that's a really good one. Probably seeing Atmosphere at Red Rocks. That was a killer show.
It was announced today.
Yep.
Another one
With
I
the
was
Far
like,
Side.
yeah.
They're doing it.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Far Side.
That's what's up. Honestly, I caught that.
It's gonna be tight.
And then,
Yeah.
Somebody else too.
man, oh, that's a really good question. Honestly, probably, there's like I've been to so many concerts that everybody probably has out here. Honestly, probably the Currency one that I was talking to you guys about, like seeing him at Cervantes in a small, like he just played Red Rocks, you know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
just super
which was
cool.
great.
Yeah, it was
Wiz
great. We both attended
Khalifa
that.
and like
It was, you know,
Trippie Redd.
but it was cool to see him in a small setting like that, and you know, and also it serves like I just like serves in general. It's like this little hole in the wall place that I hope never goes away. I kind of hope it's
Yeah.
always around. I always enjoyed it. You know,
I like it too.
it's not for everybody, but that's kind of the beauty of it too.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
it.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Which is just awesome.
Yeah, I seen Roddy Ricch there.
They're
The
like
first
little
time going to
back patio
Cervantes.
areas. Smoke so much weed back there.
Yeah.
Love
For
those
real,
days,
for
yeah.
real. I've seen the gang concerts at Cervantes. One of the craziest one, which there was no one really there, dog. Like I want to say maybe like 20 people, but I want to say oh shit, the Royce the 5'9", Joe Buttons, Crooked Eye. What are they called? Like I'm high.
Favorite show at Cervantes? Is that what the question is? Or
Yeah,
favorite-
He's
no,
trying
well,
to
I mean
remember.
that was a live ass concert. What's their name? The guys from Eminem shit.
Oh, D12.
D12.
Nah, the other one is like Joe Buttons, Crooked Eye,
Oh.
Royce the 5'9".
Fuck,
There's
what the
four
fuck
of
is their
them.
name?
Yeah, I can't even think
God
of to save my
damn.
life. But they're all like top quality like rappers and that shit. There wasn't many people there, but that shit
What
was
is their fucking
hard.
name?
I have like the poster at home, like just
Can't
chilling.
even think of it.
Oh, I really did enjoy Larry June. Saw
Larry
him
June.
there.
I missed him.
That was a really good show, honestly. Like, and it was again a very small setting, and you know him being like a California rapper, it was cool to was cool to see him out here. I saw that I got, you know, and the tickets were cheap. It was like $20 for a ticket or something. I was like, let's go. Let's run it up. I went to that for sure.
Outkast was a dope show.
Ooh.
I've never seen Outkast.
Outkast is dope.
They are one that eluded me.
They're super dope. They brought out this like holographic box.
Dope.
The
Make it
prototype
trippy.
song.
Yeah.
It was pretty dope.
I enjoyed back when it was the Pepsi Center seeing J. Cole. I've always fucked with J. Cole.
Me too. He's one of my favorites.
At the Fox, right after he dropped his mixtape that broke the internet.
Yeah.
That shit was hard.
Yeah, he goes hard. He's one of my
always been a good
faves.
performer. I will say,
I've seen him a few times.
For the Pepsi Center when, you know, Earth Gang opened for them. For him, and that was like, what was it, like 2019 or 20, you know, and they still were just kind of coming up, and I was like, these dudes are killing it. You know what I mean? They're so sick. And then he had,
we had him here smoking weed.
Yeah, and then he had Jaden Smith too.
Yeah,
and I hate to speak poorly on artists and stuff, but it was not one of his better performances. But he was also a lot younger than too. It was when that Icon song was out that was super popular for him. And he played it like 3 or 4 times within his set. No. He played the same song. Yeah.
Is that like, the worst concert you've ever seen?
His opening, him playing was probably close to one of the worst that I've seen. I mean, people in the crowd were like looking around, like, "Is this really happening right now?" Like, you're one of the openers for J. Cole, and you got Earth Gang next to you, and you're just repeating because he was just like, "I am an icon, I am an icon," and it was just this repetitive running back and forth the crowd. Like, it just felt like a real childish kind of skit that was just ill prepared. And I don't know. Again, I'm not him. I don't know what was going on there. But really I know that too. If you've got those two types of people, you have I had also heard and read speculations that apparently J. Cole was maybe good friends with Will Smith, or there was something going on there to where Jaden got the in to come and do that. You know, which would kind of make sense to me after watching the performance and stuff. He was probably just thrilled to be on the same lineup as J. Cole. Honestly, you know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of people would be. Yeah. But yeah,
$1 million spot every night.
I was extremely underwhelmed with that. You know, everybody was like, at some point, people in the crowd were chanting like "Earth Gang," like to try to get them to come back on stage, and there were people over here like J. Cole, like.
They came on after Earth Gang.
So it was Earth Gang first, and then Jaden came in second, and then there was like a lull, and then J. Cole came on and did his like performance.
I went to that one in Chicago.
Damn, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, so 2019 was wild, or whatever year that was. I think that was actually. I think that had to been like 2018. I can't remember now, but
that wasn't the one that just happened, right? No, that was a little different.
That was the one at Pepsi Center before it got Ball Arena and stuff. But it was a number of years ago.
How the fuck did they get Ball Arena too? Can you explain that to me?
Ball, the company bought it.
The mason jars.
Yeah.
Ball, mason jars.
You said mason jars. So we got a basketball stadium named after a fucking mason jar?
Well, Ball is the company that owns it with the big cursive BA.
Shit, Ball, they
own a number.
Bro, everybody got a jar in their house.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, come on. Like,
I'm just saying.
What are we resorting to?
Who has
is Windex gonna buy the rights next week?
Bro, everybody.
Or some shit,
maybe,
like, for real.
Maybe. It could.
There's levels.
I bet there was. You know what, bro? You probably just spoke that shit into existence. There's about to be a motherfucking Windex arena.
Watch.
Somewhere.
Hey, if y'all take my idea, what's
in Oklahoma?
Wherever it rains a lot and people use a lot of Windex for spots for cleaning. Wherever the stock is the highest, that we're going there.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida is about to have a motherfucking Windex stadium, bro. It's going down. I promise you.
You just
high shit made that shit happen.
If you don't know, it's that Be Good weed.
Hitting us all right about it.
Yes. Oh my god.
You know, I seen Juice WRLD before he passed away too.
Sure.
Y'all fuck with Juice WRLD.
I don't know enough about him.
I think he's really talented, but I just can't listen to his music.
Yeah.
It's all of it's so depressing, and it's just all about drugs, and it's just like after he died like that too, it's like 100%. Like you said, we know a ton of people that die from opioid fucking addiction. It's just like,
and it's hard for me to really, and I mean I say that I'm like, oh yeah, I fuck with 3-6 or whatever, blah blah. But back then I feel like it was a really heavy lifestyle.
That's what drugs
was different
time.
You could do drugs. Like drugs were drugs.
Now you can't do drugs.
And now it's kind of like, well, and a lot of these, in my opinion, like new age rappers, I feel like are kind of idolizing it in a sense. It's like, oh, I'm really sad, like blah blah blah, perks do this, or like this and this, or blah blah blah. Like I can't think, like
Lil Xan.
You know, well, like, okay, so for instance, the guy, we were just speaking about the concert we went to, Trippie Redd. I had never seen Trippie Redd before. let me be honest, I've never really listened to his
He's
music.
like some 6ix9ine shit, right?
He's like, I think
6ix9ine,
so.
I don't even
I was
know.
about to say.
But
Yeah, it's just like
watching,
that same kind
but
of
watching
music.
him perform was like, I was like, this is like emo rap. You know what I mean? It was like, and I mean, I thought I was like, 13-year-old me, and I was like an emo kid. It was like depressed and shit. But I was like, I don't know that I really fucked with this. This is kind of, I don't know. And his personality was not really for me. I don't know. And maybe it's because I'm older, and he caters to this younger age group. You know, it's the whole parents being like, "What's this music?" and the kids are like, "You don't understand." Maybe that's part of it. But again, it's the idolizing like drugs and shit when you have so many artists that are young and so talented that are just dropping dead. Dropping dead, and it's like
it's sad.
No, people act sad about it, but then continue to, again, idolize that type of thing and really push it and make it like everyone should be doing this. And I'm just like, is there maybe better things that we could talk about?
Right.
Like, is there some more context that's not being discussed? I don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah and no. Like
I know
said,
it's a touchy subject for a lot of people, but it's like
I definitely get it. And it's like, but you don't want to like. I mean, fuck. I mean, I honestly have a problem like with Future and a song that's played on the radio called Zanny Percocets, whatever the fuck it's called. Like that's just wild.
Oh, yeah, Percocets. Percocets.
And it's like that's the whole hook. Is like, are you ready? You got the kids listening to this shit, like for real.
Well,
and
even
they allow it though.
Totally.
Right.
Someone could put their foot down and be like, nah, we ain't playing this shit on the radio, but.
Well, and I watched a documentary.
They're the ones that are
recently
controlling
about,
it, right?
Drug use too, and it was talking about like, Adderall. I'm sure I can't think of one person that I don't really know. I mean, maybe I can think of a couple that haven't done a lot, Adderall for studying, for school, for this, for that, for the other, whatever it may be. But same thing, there's a future, they talk about that too, and he's like, I can't feel my face, I'm on Adderall, nauseous. Like, it's the same thing, it's like just turning it into something that these kids relate with, or people are relating with, whatever it is, to make it something you enjoy listening to, I guess. Yeah. And it's catchy. The beat's catchy, and it's just like sliding these little tiny things in there that no one thinks about.
Exactly.
We talk about that all the time on here, like with the music.
Oh, yeah.
Even music that I've fucking recorded and made, like I thought it banged, and now that I listen to that, I see the drug references every other bar. Yeah. And you're just like, or even have to explain to a kid we were listening to BBD. And I thought it was me. Thought it was me. Nah, she's like that.
Yeah, I used to listen to all this crazy music, and it's like when I was younger, I just would listen to the beat, and I fuck with it. It's catchy, like music has so much energy into it, especially like sound. So it's like, but now that I'm like got older, it's like, and I listen to it again, it's like all the lyrics. It's like it's not good. It's crazy. It's just some talking about some crazy stuff, and that subconsciously enters into your mind if you listen to it over and over and over and over again.
Because this gets pounded into their mind.
Exactly. So
you know what I mean?
They won't be able to make some changes.
When you listen to the radio
life for them.
And truffle butter comes on, and then your kid asks you what the fuck that is, or they go and Google it.
Oh boy. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Google's a dangerous place now. Everybody's got a phone in their hand, kids included, and so if mom and dad won't tell me, if mom and dad won't tell me Google, it's like Ask Jeeves.
That's why everybody knows everything.
Yep.
Remember the days when you could just pick up a book and you'd have to. That was honestly something I read so much as a kid. Like I definitely don't read as much now as I for sure would. But that was like such my favorite thing. Like we had Ask Jeeves. And like that was it. We didn't really have a lot of internet, so my mom would be like, "Pick up the fucking book and da da da."
Fuck, that's wild.
Remember that little guy?
We had the Magic 8-Ball.
That's Jeeves.
Hey, we had a Magic 8. That's fair.
Nah, Ask Jeeves though.
But Ask Jeeves was like that was like a thing in our household. My mom would be like, "Oh,
Ask Jeeves." I don't know. That's fucking wild. Holy shit.
Remember that phone number you used to text for questions and then what
oh yeah.
What was it called?
311.
No, it was called like it was like a cool name too, I think.
Text messaging service. You could text any question.
311.
It was so lit. They would ask anything. It was basically Google, but when there wasn't internet crazy like that.
I remember I had to use an encyclopedia and hope it was in there.
Hell yeah.
That shit.
Fuck yeah, dog.
Manuals. You had to have a manual for everything.
step-by-step booklet.
I still keep mine in
It
case
was
anything.
called Cha-Cha. Sorry,
Cha-cha, yes, that's what it
remember
was
that?
called.
Y'all don't remember
I
Cha-Cha?
do remember.
Yeah.
I remember texting something. I don't remember the name.
It was
but-
242-242.
Yes. Oh my gosh, throwback. Love that.
I smoked too much weed. Remember that shit. I was playing.
So it's
That's-
just
I'd be like that too, though.
little cool tidbit about Cha-Cha. It was discontinued in 2016 due to having insufficient funds, aka Ask Jeeves took them out. No, I feel like Ask Jeeves was gone and then Cha-Cha came about.
Yeah, Cha-Cha
You know what
was
I mean?
later. Yeah. No,
I was
I think Cha-Cha was definitely later on, not before.
It was like right after high school because I graduated 2010.
Because
and I
even
was
texting,
16.
I mean, I remember before, when it was just pagers and shit. And
Yeah. Oh, and that shit used to be like, it was expensive. It was like
Yeah.
so much a text, and I'd be like, that's when
Yeah.
we really got
They ran
into
a
the.
credit check. They'd want like $1,000 for a phone
Isn't it
if you didn't have
crazy?
super good credit.
Yeah, honestly, I remember the first phone I ever got was a Cricket phone. I got like a little. When you buy the cards and you have to
Yeah.
fill it, and I'd be texting friends.
What were those cards called?
prepaid joints.
Prepaid.
They had a name for it, like chirps or fucking.
I just paid for the unlimited plan.
Yeah, well, I wasn't able to do that yet because I didn't have the money for the good phone to get the unlimited plan, so I had to pay.
Yeah.
But the card was like, $30, and it was like 5 cents a
Yeah,
text. So
see,
we would like.
I did a card before that on oh no, actually, you know what? Before that, I had gotten a phone that my uncle had, and he paid for that line, and he never really used it. I had the phone for a little while. That was my first phone that I ever used and gave my number out for, and then I lost that phone. But after that, Cricket was the joint. But it was one of those like just the numbers on the bar,
Oh yeah, totally.
big ass battery. It was humongous, flip out, ugly ass phone.
I didn't have a flip for a while. I had a razor for like,
I was about to say, the razors
like
are-
a week.
Oh, that was the sick.
My friend
I
gave me a
love the
razor,
razors.
and then I
That was the best phone.
I'm one of those people. Everyone that knows me knows that I hate phones, and I leave my phone everywhere. Like literally, I leave it everywhere, and that's what I did back then. I went to the bathroom, left it in some bathroom, and that's all she wrote. Never
The
saw
razor
it
was the best phone ever.
That was
It was
great.
ever.
I was so happy when I got
Ever.
mine.
Nah,
Do you
I
guys
think
remember the
little
one?
the
The one that was like the
Sidekick?
size, like the size of your palm, and it had the tiny ass, like
Oh, the
Yeah, it's
BlackBerry.
sounds
I
terrible.
think it was a
Yeah, the
BlackBerry. Yeah, the
Blackberries were-
BlackBerry. Literally
I hated the
tiny
Blackberries.
buttons. Oh my
No, the
gosh,
razor was the
they were
best
so
phone. Like the
little.
shape, it was like the
Yeah.
best
If you
feel.
were cool,
I
you had a
love
sidekick in my school. If
Right.
you had a
Yeah,
sidekick,
yeah.
you like
If you
were
had
a
a
cool
sidekick,
kid.
you were
Oh, yeah.
cool.
And I had like a Nokia, definitely like fucking brick phone, like
Yeah,
for sure.
I think I had the Kyocera joint. Remember that
Hey,
little? remember that
Kyocera,
little-
yeah.
The one that slid it up, which
Nah,
and then they had
oh.
the little circle thing.
Nah, not that one. Yeah, I had the
Remember
little.
which one was that one?
Yeah, the blue. It was like
You know what
the.
I'm talking about?
Yeah, it did the slide.
Yeah.
It looked like a badge, kind of.
Yeah.
Shaped like a.
Virgin Mobile did like a hell of Kyoceras because I always switched between Cricket and Virgin Mobile because
Yeah, I was just
it's like the
Cricket.
cheapest stuff ever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hell yeah. I remember when there were payphones.
Oh, we had a payphone in my high school, and I like dated a boy, and I remember calling. I would like stay after school because I'd like wait for my mom to pick me up after school. We had a payphone, and I would just bring hella change, and I would just sit there on the
Nah, we ain't doing
payphone,
that.
talk to my boyfriend for
cute.
hours,
Hell no.
run that shit down.
Oh
I'm
my
telling you.
god.
Because I didn't have
That's
a
so
phone.
fucking
Because I didn't have a phone.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like even with the kids nowadays, will never understand the
wild.
struggle.
Right.
Yeah.
Like change. I'm like, y'all don't even
Oh.
know how pivotal change was back
Fuck
then.
these punk ass kids.
And then it cut
Change.
you off. I think if you talk too long. I remember we'd get to the point where you'd like
Have
2
to
hours
start
at a
over.
time. It would hang you up. Like you could pay so much,
You'd have
and
to
then
start over.
and it would sound like you were like on a jail line because it'd be like disconnecting in 5, you know, or some shit like that.
Right,
And you'd be like, I'm gonna call you right back. Just give me
2
like,
hours. Oh my.
you hang up.
How'd you do that again?
You're fucking 2 hours, 2 hours deep in the fucking payphone
I was in
conversation.
love, okay?
Yeah,
Listen.
that's what
Oh
happens.
my
You was in
God.
love.
Three.
That's what
That was
happened.
first of 3. She was probably 6 hours deep in that bitch.
My mom worked till like 5 and school ended at like 2:25, and so I'd literally sit in
Oh,
school for
shit.
4 hours.
Oh,
And so like
yeah.
I'd roam the halls, like all the like nerdy kids that did like art class and stuff, you know, where I would go sit in the gymnasium and the auditorium and watch them perform and do stuff like that. Like sometimes I had friends that had extracurricular activities and I'd hang out, but most of the time I was just sitting at school for 4 hours, and I was like,
Talking on
well,
the phone.
I was like, well, I got a boyfriend at home. I guess I should call him on the
Call
payphone.
him on the payphone.
You know,
With all your laundry money.
he even knew our high school number and would like call the payphone, and you'd have to like pay to accept.
Oh,
my
snap.
God.
You'd have to pay to accept,
No
and we had a
shit.
set time because I didn't have a cell phone, and when we
Set
talked the day
time.
before,
That's
he'd be like, "I'm gonna call you at
wild.
Oh, that's cute. True love
Holy
story.
shit.
to be 16 and
Yeah.
think you're in
I
love."
remember
Where is
the
this fool at?
place.
Man, I can't even talk about this person
Okay.
anymore because we didn't end on a very good note at all.
You just can't even say
But
nothing.
but it was a cool experience as a middle school / high school, really high schooler,
Right.
having a boyfriend.
Yeah. I remember those
Or just
things.
a relationship,
hilarious.
someone that like fucks with you like you think you fuck with them.
Right. Oh yeah.
Until
you're
you
all-
learn,
and then
like
all
we
of a
talked about
sudden-
those life lessons earlier,
Mm-hmm.
about till you get your heart broken or till you have an experience that hardens you, like fuck people.
Fuck
you know?
everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Ugh.
All right. And depressed. Just kidding.
Now let's
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
let's
let's talk
talk.
about sad things.
I'm in a crying session.
But it's
guys. Let's get
relatable.
it.
Everybody gets
No,
sad.
absolutely.
You know,
You're right. You're
definitely.
No, that's it. We should talk about
It's
that.
healthy.
Yeah,
to,
it's super healthy.
yeah, it's healthy to be sad sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta let it out.
100%.
Can't hold it all in.
And
Or
know what it's
also
all
make it
about.
worse.
You know, especially it's hard for people to just let people in and talk about shit sometimes, and that's really all you need.
Yeah.
You know.
People
Stuff.
think you have to be like the hard guy and
Oh yeah, for guys it's terrible.
definitely
for sure, you know,
100%.
like-
It's like,
No,
nah.
I can't
I think for I don't know. I think
Shit.
for women it can be tough too because we have to.
Absolutely. No,
I mean, not to take
for
away from
everybody.
anybody, you know.
No, for
Totally.
anybody it's hard. It's
For
hard
sure.
for sure.
Yeah, both
For everybody,
sexes or any
Animals.
whatever you include yourself.
But
in,
yeah,
you know.
I mean, but
Animals.
societally, it's okay for women to
Definitely.
cry a little bit, you
Yeah,
know,
totally.
and to be like, I feel. They're expected to be like, I feel,
Totally.
and men, it's
Have
like,
to have
no,
hard
you
exterior
cannot
and-
even pretend to
Yeah.
feel.
That's true. That's
Shut the
very
fuck
true.
up
Yeah.
about your shit. Toughen up.
Yeah.
But
That's why
be
if
a
I
man.
see someone be upset, or if it's something, even if it's like a male friend or like my boyfriend or someone I see that's upset, I'm like, it's okay to be upset, like have feelings, have those emotions, like it's
No,
healthy to
yeah.
get it out, and like as humans, that's proof that you're experiencing life.
That's what
You're
we're
having
supposed
an
to do.
actual reaction, whether it's happy,
Balance.
sad, angry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
like,
the end of the day, that's what life's about, having, feeling. If we didn't feel, we wouldn't have a
Meaning,
life.
purpose.
Exactly. That's what gives that what it is.
You know what's funny? We were just talking about like pets and plants and shit. Like today, like at work, I had 3 customers or people that I talked to that I was calling to collect money, and all 3 of them told me like about the same story. Like, man, my cat. Like this one lady, like my cat. I had a $2,000 operation. She died 2 days later. I'm like, dang, like, you know what I mean? This other lady, same thing with her dog, but her dog
Wow.
lives. But like, I know I'm behind everything, but my dog got sick and it cost me $3,000, but he's alive and I'll pay y'all when I can. You know what I mean? It's like, dang, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just craziness. That was a weird coincidence today. Like 3 people, and I've never heard that, the whole time I've been
Reasoning,
doing
yeah.
this. Like,
Totally.
just like today was a weird day. There's kind of a lot of odd, weird shit
Yeah.
today. It's in the air.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like lately it's been like that real heavy, like a lot of loss, a lot of interesting, I think it's getting lighter though. I think it's getting better, but I feel like that's a part of, like, I feel like when you go into fall and winter, obviously it's darker and they talk about the solstice and it is a heavier, darker time for a lot of people. Luckily we live in a beautiful sunny state that gets tons of sun.
Yeah.
We don't get, it's not a lot of reason for being depressed, but, just coming out of COVID, a lot of us lost a lot of people through sickness or whatever it may have been, even outside of quote unquote of COVID, etc. But yeah, it's just people are trying to get back to some sort of sense of normalcy, and really it's like, what is normal?
I think we're
Now-
still lost and we're still don't know
Exactly.
what to do.
Yeah, well, and, you travel, I had heard recently, at the airport here, they lifted, I'd lifted the mask
masks,
mandate,
yeah.
et cetera. I mean, everybody has their own opinions about masks,
Oh,
et
did
cetera. Yeah, they did here. I know in Denver
recently.
specifically.
Just recently?
Yeah,
Just like a couple days ago, like probably like
Literally.
not even a week.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, my it was
4
like
days.
my boyfriend had traveled and had like just sent a picture with no mask, and I was like, no mask, because we just
Tight.
Ollie and I had just traveled for work to Salt Lake, and we had to wear masks the
Yeah.
whole time.
Right,
But this
right.
was earlier in the month, and so, but I had heard like in one of our other friends had maybe traveled. I think it was Chicago where he's from, but they're still required masks there. So I think it might be
Little by
a
little.
state by state basis, or I don't know that it's a federally mandated
Right,
thing
right,
at this
but
point, but I know that for me, in my opinion, for Denver to lift it with with this heavily populated, and you already know how many people travel through DIA. It's just busy as all get out all the time. Me personally, I am so involved with so many different people, especially with my job.
Right.
I'm like, if I'm gonna get sick, like I had COVID or what I think was COVID. When I was sick as shit. I'm still alive. I feel fine. You know, wash your fucking hands. Don't be a grimy, shitty person. Like, I feel like that's not a hard thing to understand. Germs are germs. You can, like...
Stop touching your fucking face.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't do this and then touch your
hands
and then
fresh and clean.
Just, like, take proper normal care. But, like, don't stop washing your hands. Just be a normal person and don't be fucking weird.
Fucking weird. That's the real... Stop being fucking weird. And stop being so aggressive. People are just...
Yeah, it's been... I've felt that a lot lately. There's been a lot of heaviness. I don't know if y'all have felt this, but I have felt, like, immense people with, like, road rage recently. And I will say, I will first preface, like, I'm an aggressive driver in a sense, like, I know where I'm going and I know what I'm doing and I'm alert. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't really put up with people, like, kind of lollygagging or like just being disrespectful on the road in a sense.
Getting over and then not into the left lane and not going.
Don't be in the left lane going 40. Like on 25. Don't be doing that. 70.
Or use your blinkers.
If you're listening to this and you're one of those fucks,
get
fuck
bent.
you.
Get bent, bro. Get bent.
I'm done.
But anyways, you know, I've noticed recently, like even from where I live, merging onto the interstate, you know, there's people that are literally refusing to let you get on the highway. You know, I've seen this happen. Like, I've had multiple occasions where I've literally had to drive into the emergency lane because you have a blinker on. And again, I'm an assertive driver. If I see that gap, I'm taking it, you know. But you literally have people that will drive beside you and, like, to prevent you from getting on the highway. And I'm just like, or people that whip in front of you or cut you off and then slam their brakes, like, intentionally. I've had people, like, flip me off, and I've been like, and I look around like, did you mean to do that to me? Like, I don't even know. I'm over here driving in my own world, not even aware that I've done something wrong to them. But I've seen it more recently, you know, and I'm just like, what's happening? I don't know. I just feel like the energy of people is a little more aggressive.
Yeah, people are on one right now. They're definitely on one.
The energy.
Everybody's funking.
Fuck them.
Smoke some weed, man.
Or get some ass. Fuck. Smoke some weed.
Yeah,
get some dick. Get some pussy. Like,
get a hug. Get someone to tell you.
I'm straight up like,
12-second hug.
I kind of ran into someone this weekend. Like, you know what I mean? They really need something in their life because
it's affection. You need that. You need your love language. You really need your love language.
And you tell yourself you don't. You're just lying to yourself. Like,
people
straight
need
up.
to get touched.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, people need to feel, you know, loved and appreciated. I know a lot of people maybe don't feel that, you know, definitely. And even what I was touching on with, like, loss, you know, I lost a significant member of my family recently, and it's been very hard, and I hadn't seen them in a couple years, you know, and I think about it all the time, like, oh, I would have, you know, I've been sad, like, oh, I would love to have one last hug, or, like, one last hand touch, or, like, one last, like, whatever the heck it may be. But again, it comes back down to humans, like, needing and really needing the physical touch or physical whatever it is, you know.
Right.
You know, some people got too much pride though, so
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's true. The ego eats people
it's like the
alive.
offer is there, but I'm not gonna
And,
beg nobody at all
yeah.
anymore. Shit, fuck
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and that's good energy too. Like, if it's a you know, a good person, like, touch can translate a lot of energy.
that. Oh, for sure.
So it's like, it's really welcoming and great.
I think that's the part too that can scare people sometimes too, because there are people with, you know, bad energy or bad intentions, and it's hard to know that too. You know,
you gotta be careful with those ones.
But it's like, you know, lots of times you meet people that seem really good, and it's hard to know that. And if you're a person, like I've said before, like with the whole black and white or hard with being stonewall even to people sometimes, you know, it's like
The thing is we see the signs, we just don't act on them.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, true.
If you really pay attention to that shit, it'll play itself out right in fucking front of you.
Yeah.
And you'll know, and then you'll see it again, and then you'll like, then you start to wisen up. But I mean, you see it, we all see it. It's just, you know, we try to turn that head, like, you try to give the benefit of the doubt, or you know what I mean, like, you know, I'm tripping, like, nah.
You pick up on patterns and how people move, you know, and you definitely, I feel like and I've picked up that a lot. I think, you know, it really even over the last couple of years, just with interactions in groups outside of that, like I always tell people, like, take yourself to dinner, buy yourself dinner one night and sit by yourself, like sit at the bar by yourself, order a drink, and just sit back and observe the world around you. You know, it's like you don't have to talk to people, you don't have to feel like you have to interact or whatever, but it's good to just be aware of your surroundings and get into a mood of just kind of seeing how people move and operate, you know, and maybe some people, I don't know,
Pay
I feel,
attention.
you know, but I think that's important. Like, I'm super observant. I will, like, Ollie knows, she'll hear me sometimes, she's like, wow, I didn't even know that was going on. I'm like, yeah, man, I saw them when they walked in the door, like, picked up on that immediately, you know, but yeah, reading a room, as they say, you know, I think that's really important. For sure.
And there was this quote that popped up too that was like, don't ignore the red flags just because you want to be in love. You know, like sometimes we might just ignore those because it's like, oh, like, you know, I just want, you know, a bit more affection or this or that.
It's that substitute that we want, even though it might not be good. You know what I mean? We're still willing to fucking risk whatever just to have a little bit, whether if it's a
like
week, a month.
You can't settle for less, so that's the thing.
You know, it's like,
which people, you know, do because they just crave that so bad. And it's like, you can get that from yourself. You know, you gotta love yourself first before you can love anyone else.
I was watching some crazy ass shit about like Will Smith and like his wife Jada, and like it was some crazy ass shit about how like he had planned for like 5 years this big ass party for her, you know what I mean, her birthday party, and she was like all pissed and said that he did it for him, and blah blah blah, and like when they went to interview him, he like wasn't like how, you know, put his foot down or even like, you know, what are you talking about? He was like, oh yeah, she was right.
He was so passive about it.
And it was just like, you know what I mean?
She said that about their wedding too, where there's, you know, the readings or things about it where she was like, I didn't want to get married and blah blah blah, and I felt pressured to be like with someone and blah 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 and everything, and you know, and same thing, you know, I feel like they interview him and they both talk about this, that, and the third, or, you know, he obviously seems to be quite a protective person over her and seems to have so much love for her, and her disdain toward him is like, you know, like I would be heartbroken if I was married and with someone forever and they, you know, had this entanglement that was broadcast all over the world.
All over the world.
Then you're gonna come out. Then you're gonna come out and be like, you know, showing pictures of your daughter writing letters to Tupac. Like, you got to be kidding me. That's wild. You know, like for her to just put all this out on the air, knowing the,
you know what's,
you know, putting the way that they are, and she even did that. I don't know if you've seen, but there's a video of her and she's like asking him a question about something. And he even says, or you see him on video, and he was like, "Don't do this." Oh yeah. He's like, "You're in my home right now. Like, do not do this with me. Don't like put." You see that? And he's like, "Do not put words against me in my home." And she flips it. She's like, "You see how? I mean," and you can see the projection all on her face. Like, I have multiple people that have talked to me and teach their own, but I really believe that she's just kind of a soul-sucking person and really kind of sucking the life out of someone that really does love her in an unconditional sense. Like he was, and again, I don't know how about that whole Grammys thing. A lot of people have different opinions about it. I feel like some of it might have been scripted. I feel like some of it might have not. These people are paid. Everybody's paid to do shit. They know that everyone watches the Grammy. But at the end of the day, the fact that he was willing to go up on stage and have this sort of scene of smacking another grown man over his wife, or what was said about his wife, I mean, that should show right there that, you know, whether, I mean, I don't think violence is okay in any sense, whatever it may be, but man, that's a lot for someone to go and do that over there. You know, I love my boyfriend. I don't know that he'd go on stage and do something wild like that. You know what I mean? It just makes me wonder, you know, and you see her expression. I feel like if she was that upset about it and it was about her, she could have been the one to walk up on the stage and make the thing, but she didn't. She sat there, she sat back, and her husband was the one that reacted. And so, I don't know.
But he laughed first.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. When you see after the Grammys, you know, there's photos taken and they're happy, they're with their children. It's a whole different vibe. You know what I mean? And it's like, were you really that upset in the first place? Like, is this just to get a rise? And that's where I come from with the whole, like, oh, is this like is this a stage thing? Like, somebody got paid for that, you know, seems, you know. Chris Rock's got a whole thing coming out. He's going on tour. Like, there's,
he sold all his tickets.
You already know. I could go on. I could indulge. Sure. So, yeah, I won't say too much on that.
I'm sure it'll come out.
Yep.
Yeah, 5 years now, someone will write a book and there'll be a blurb about it.
And now the Grammys is saying 10 years.
Man,
whatever. I mean, the Oscars saying
they're gonna get the highest ratings you watch this year. Something will happen. Something will happen.
I never watched the Oscars.
Same.
That's why.
Me neither. I never did either.
That's why they did that.
You know, what's gonna be next? Someone pulls out a gun, smokes them right there on live TV type shit. Just for the ratings.
So I'm saying, it's like how far does it have to go to get a rise? You know, like what's the shock factor that people are, and then it's like, you know, is this setting a precedent? Like, oh, it's acceptable to do this at these types of things. Like, is this behavior acceptable? acceptable. Like, what's gonna happen next year? I don't know.
Right.
And again, I'm like you. I have maybe watched it when I was a kid. Like, I could give two hecks about these people and the things that they're receiving because they're not relevant in my physical life. Like, it's not relevant.
Exactly.
You know.
Yep. Well, I think we've had a great conversation.
Yeah, that most definitely.
Yeah.
Covered a lot of topics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Y'all wanna anyone have any kind of final thoughts before we end this?
Yo, smoke weed.
Smoke
Every
weed.
day.
Smoke it up.
Can I get a cookie?
Yes, good.
Smoke
Maybe
weed
take
every
everybody
day.
take a moment to be a little kinder. You know,
Yeah, for real.
if you're seeing that, seeing
Become a
somebody
better
maybe not
person.
looking happy or something, just give them a smile.
Mm-hmm.
No reason to be
Right.
an asshole.
Kindness goes a long
That's all I'm
way.
saying. That's my thought of the day. Just be
Try
a
not
little,
to take it out on the next person
be a
too.
little
like
kinder.
we
If you
kinda
see
talked
someone
about.
trying to merge on the highway,
Let them in.
It's crazy that
Let
you
them
Help
say
them
that.
out. Help them out.
I honestly don't really feel like I really deal with any kind of road rage.
I deal with
kinda,
hella road rage.
You're aggressive.
Those are
though.
pieces of shit.
You're a crazy
I know.
driver though.
Motherfuckers
I
suck.
rode
But I'm
with you.
trying.
I know.
I'm aggressive because I know where the fuck I'm going. I know how to drive. I'm like, get out the way,
I
go.
know, but hey, sometimes you just gotta sit back. You just gotta let it
relax.
happen. I feel
that's
you.
something
That's
I'm
how I am.
slowly.
And that's
That's
kind of
how I
like
am.
for real. I mean,
I'm just chilling. It's
I
like, why
keep
get
going
upset
slow,
about
but I
it?
mean-
Nah, it's that there's people that are going super slow or they should not be going super slow.
well, we talked about this. We have every kind of driver in fucking Colorado.
We do.
We got
Yeah,
the
for
old driver,
sure.
the Cali driver,
the
the
Texas
mid-age
driver.
driver.
And they should all
Texas
stay in their
driver.
fucking
Florida
lane.
drivers.
We need lanes in the
Cali
highway, like Cali
drivers.
drivers
All
on
stay
the
in their
left,
lane.
and then but that's what it is. We just have the fucking melting pot of drivers.
Florida
Yeah,
drivers
people suck.
literally drive like they're on the fucking Autobahn. It's a nightmare.
Really, I thought it'd be super slow.
It's pretty crazy. Yo, I drove in Juarez, Mexico. If you drive there, you could drive anywhere on the road.
Yeah, that's just wild.
I
There's
feel like
no
that
speed
about
limit.
Cincinnati. I
It's
made it
wild
through
there.
Cincinnati. If you
No
can
speed
drive through
limit.
like,
Juarez is there's no line, there's no lanes, there's no.
Yeah,
it's
there's
just like
nothing.
you just go.
Yeah.
love that.
There's
You
lights.
can go how fast you want.
There's
how
lights
slow
and
you
a couple
want.
and a couple of altos.
I could
That's
probably handle
it.
that. I could probably
That's
excel
lit.
out there.
I'll tell you,
It's pretty amazing, actually.
mine is driving from fucking the airport in LA to South Central Los Angeles, seeing double on the highway. That motherfucker's
Shoot.
rough, but I made it. Like, for real, fool.
That's wild.
For real.
Crazy
I ain't
shit.
driving the whole weekend. Hey, y'all got social medias y'all want to let them know about? Like, say
Ooh,
what's
let's
up.
see. If you want to go to a sweet hot smoke lounge, Tetra Lounge, but for me, your girl,
Uh-oh.
Jkdubss with 2 S's.
Heck yeah.
Holla. My page is private though.
Holla if you
hit me.
I will give y'all a heads up because
Screening.
She gonna
We
run a
had-
background check.
we
Mine's
had to be trying
private
to
too.
shut me in the
screening.
lounge down. Y'all suck. Again.
Fuck.
But yeah, holla.
Holler, brother, brother, holler.
Holler at your girl.
There's potential.
Holla at it.
You might get accepted.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah,
you're
mine's
lucky.
private too. So,
Gotta
but
try it.
yes, you can definitely try.
Totally give them like a fake one so they can like no,
Right. Mine's just Ale Olivas _ ALE
Good luck spelling that
OLIVAS _ I know. I'm like I have to spell it. Ale Olivas.
Ale Olivas.
Olivas, yeah.
Ale Olivas.
Olivas Ramirez. You know, and if you're born in
Olivas
Mexico,
Ramirez.
you have to have
use
2
both
last
names,
names.
both
Yeah,
last names.
exactly.
It's funny because my
Definitely.
last name's Italian, actually. So every
Oh,
time
really?
my mom's last name, she's from here, you know. And so every time I'd go to Mexico, they'd be like, Nunez que? And I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
Atencio. You wouldn't understand.
Right.
They're like, what the
You had
fuck
to be
did you
there.
just
You had to be
say?
born
I'm like,
there.
yeah, you would.
I just tell my name's Joe Dinner. That's it, bro. Joe
So
Dinner.
good.
Love
You know what I
that.
mean?
Joe
Oh,
Tinder.
yeah.
That
So
too.
good.
Mine's Kdubss because my last name's Kelly Walker and it's hyphenated. And I hate saying it's Jessica and Kelly,
Kelly
Walker.
Walker.
Jessica and Kelly
It's a
Walker.
whole
You got
thing,
4
bro.
first names.
Listen, I don't want to listen.
You have 4 first
Bring
names.
me back to my childhood trauma. Let's
Oh
go.
my god.
Oh
But
my god! You just does anybody call you by ever?
So I got
God,
made-
blah, blah. I just forgot all
I
the
got
names you just
like
said.
I got like Walker Texas Ranger a lot
Oh,
when I was a
shit.
kid. I got Luke. I got like I like love Star Wars as a kid and stuff. So I got the whole like Luke Skywalker, part of the family. I don't know, a number of other things, but JK Jelly was like a big thing. But
Peanut
yeah,
butter jelly.
but JK
Say all the names again.
Jessica and Kelly Walker.
Jessica and Kelly
Ann
Walker.
is my middle name.
Jessica and Kelly Walker, get your behind over here right now.
It was Jessica Ann.
Jessica
and Kelly Walker.
Jessica Ann.
God damn it, that would be
Kelly
the
Walker.
thing. Excuse my French, that'd be the thing. I'm about to, anyways.
That's amazing.
But Jkdubss is obviously for the JK and the
Jessica
W.
and
So
Kelly Walker.
give y'all a little backstory.
That is amazing. You have 4 first names.
And I thought 3 was a lot.
I'm ready to get
shit.
married and then
That's like Mexican.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Marco Antonio Pablo Jesus José Martín
Yeah.
Roberto Ramón Aarón.
Alejandro Rivas Ramirez.
See?
Like,
Got some
what?
Damn, what the fuck did you just say?
I'm saying that's my full name.
I have nothing in me. I'm a white girl. I got like
White girl.
Irish. I got like
know,
some
but-
Cherokee or something on my dad's side, but that's
That's
like
hella.
minimal.
There's people, there's Mexicans that look just like you in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Low key, yeah.
Straight up.
And, where is it
Blonde
at?
hair, green
All
eyes,
over.
blue
I've
eyes.
seen
Like,
them
what's
all
up,
over.
girl? Somebody used to be like, hey, come on, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, you would have never guessed.
I swear, I know,
blonde hair,
I know girls
literally.
in Mexico
I
look just
love
like
that.
you.
Yep.
Introduce me. I want to fit in. I want friends.
You know,
They just know
I'll teach you. I'll
Spanish.
teach you
That's
some
okay. They can
Spanish.
teach me Spanish. I would love to
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
more. You know, versus
You just have to, honestly, you just have to completely immerse yourself. That's the only way you're really gonna do it.
Yeah.
Truly,
I know, yeah. I should.
Why don't you wear that?
You go to Mexico.
Do
you
it
go to the
all.
United States.
go to Mexico
You
Go
go
hard
or
somewhere.
go
Joe
home.
Thunder.
or somewhere.
Viva Kentucky.
Viva El Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Well, there you have it.
I'm just kidding. Turns out your name is how you speak in Spanish.
Yay.
All right.
All right.
Well, there you have it.
Cool.
We are out of here.
Thanks,
We're pretty
guys.
We're hitting you with the 100 hour and 40 minutes podcast of just highness.
Dang, that's crazy.
Blessings.
All right.
Yes.
We are out of here. Peace.
Peace.
This is.